Oh, hello. Welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2023-24 season. My name is Dan, and for some reason, the overlay is incorrect. Hang on, we need to fix that. Let's fix that now before anything else happens. Is that better? Yeah, that's a whole lot better. There we go. Yeah, that looks like more like the deadline. 6 p.m. In the UK at least. Tuesday, the 2nd of April. Yeah, that's today. How you guys doing? We are streaming a little bit earlier than usual today. 2 hours until deadline. We've got quite a long time. But still, yeah, thought it might be fun. I'm locked in, guys. I'm locked in my FPL team. I don't know about you guys, how you're getting on with your final decisions, but yeah, I'm happy. I actually am genuinely very happy with my team for this game week, which is nice because last game week didn't go amazingly. But I guess that's just another week of not owning Son. But for the first time, I'm actually feeling more comfortable about not having Heung-min Son in my team. Weird. Obviously, I got the news today that Ollie Watkins is out. So those of you guys with Watkins in your team, you are going to have to at least think about removing him, because he's going to be out for game week 31, possibly game week 32 as well. After that, it's Arsenal away. Toughest game of the season for an attacker. So I do think it might be time to say goodbye to Ollie Watkins. Luke in the chat says, bench list, please, Dan. Yeah. Well, we got you. We got you covered. William asking for any news on Gusto. Unfortunately not. We've not got any training pictures of him or anything like that. There's no press conference actually until tomorrow because they don't play until Thursday. So you actually have a couple of days before they even play. Which maybe is a good thing if you own Gusto, because you got that extra little bit of time for him to recover. But I mean, if we're totally honest, how much are we expecting from Gusto against Manchester United anyway? Probably not going to be one of the highest scoring players of the game. Although saying that, really nice attacking player. The thing is, I worry if Gusto is like carrying maybe a small injury with 2 games in the next 3 days by the time he plays. You do wonder if there is going to be a little bit of rest time for Gusto somewhere in there. Whether that means he's going to be substituted before the 60 minutes or what, I'm not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure. We'll have to see. Phil Salmon, thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel. Mucho apreciado. Let's move over to this page here so you guys can see my team. But then I think we'll just chat generally about FPL, and we'll do some of the more structured usual stuff later on in the stream. We'll just have a chat for now, I think. Mrs. FPL Mate has 2 free transfers. She's going to come in at some point, I think, and do her transfers as well. So it'll be good to see what she comes up with her particular transfers. Let's get that set up as well so she can come in and do that. We'll set that up so she can come in and do her team in a bit. I'm just going to set up her pick team page so we can have a little look at if she's got some injuries. Actually, she has got some injuries in her team. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. All right. So this is where I'm at the minute, guys. I don't think there's going to be any changes between now and deadline. I've already used my transfer. Watkins out, Darwin in. Pretty simple stuff. The Sibbies asked for a wildcard draft. I think we can definitely do that. I think we can definitely do a wildcard draft for today. I obviously, with there only being a few days to kind of make any decisions and make any content, that's been a little bit tough to get all of the content out that perhaps we'd want to. So we haven't actually had a chance to do a wildcard draft, but let's load one up on Fantasy Football Hub. Let's try it. Here for FPL says, Dan, do you think Richarlison starts today? I think there's a good chance. I think there's a very good chance he starts today. Which again makes not owning Son a little bit more palatable. But yeah, let's make a team here for a wild card. Now, what do you guys want? Do you want a wild card team for those with a free hit, or one for those without a free hit? Because that does change things quite significantly. Yeah, so those of you looking for a wild card draft, let me know in the chat. What do you want? Do you want a team for free hit 34, or do you want a team without free hit 34? I'm not going to do a Game Week 34 bench boost team because I just don't really like it. I don't really fancy that as a strategy. But I guess you go elsewhere. So yeah, let me know, free hit or no. What are we saying in the chat? Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people asking about Gusto. I have put at the bottom that we don't know. We don't have any information. A lot of people saying with free hit. Honestly, if you don't have a free hit, I wouldn't wildcard. Like, I know, I know that probably sounds bad, but I'd rather take like a -8 this game week than wildcard without a free hit. Because there's just absolute, the doubles we see in 34 compared to the doubles we see in 35, 36, 37, they are completely incompatible. So I'm going to do a team with a wildcard team, assuming you do have a free hit. If you don't have a free hit, I would really strongly consider not wildcarding. If you can fix it with a -8, I would do that. I would do that instead. 3 transfers, -8 taken. You're still going to be up, I think. So this assumes a free hit. So what we need to be mainly looking at is players who double later on in the season. Players who we expect to have doubles. So we need lots of Chelsea. We're going to put Gusto in. I'm not sure if he's actually going to be playing this game week or not, but we're going to throw him in regardless. If I can find him, that is. What do we need to go? Full game prediction. Just search his name. Gusto. Probably one more Chelsea player. I'm not sure who you would actually go for at this stage, to be honest with you, third. Could go for Jackson. Not totally convinced by that. But we'll just keep going through this team. So we want probably Foden rather than Saka. If you had to choose one of Saka or Foden, you'd choose Foden, I think, if you had a free hit in 34. We might be able to squeeze both of them in, but I'm not particularly confident about that one. Do we go for another Liverpool player or not? Not totally convinced, to be honest. I think this is certainly a good starting point. After that, João Pedro's back, so we may consider him. He's going to be back in the squad this game week. Don't actually know if he's going to be playing or not this game week. Petrovic, yeah, Petrovic is definitely on the cards, isn't he? I think we probably do go for Petrovic as our third Chelsea. Let's obviously get some Spurs in as well. Son, I like Richarlison as well. Are we going to be able to afford all this? I don't know. Pedro Porro, maybe a doggy instead. Here for FPL, thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel. You've been here around here for a while, so good to see you as a member as well. Okay, so we've got triple Chelsea, triple Spurs, which is decent. We've got Isak, we've got João Pedro. So far, all of these players, other than Salah, has a double game week in 37, which is nice. We just need to complete the defense. We need a goalkeeper. Ideally, a goalkeeper who doubles in 37, so it saves us making a transfer later on. So who's that going to be between? It's going to be between... Actually, should we just get the... let's get the calendar out again. We'll have a look through this. Onana is a possibility. Probably needs to get one more Man City player in. Let's get Guardiola in to complete our triple up there on City, which is nice. City against Aston Villa team without Watkins could be pretty nice as well. We could go for Edison. It's one or the other, isn't it? One or the other. Maybe Edison is the solution. Let's actually remove you then, and we'll go for someone else. So double game, maybe kind of want a Newcastle defender in there somewhere, because they play Sheffield United, Burnley, and then a double game week. And Pope is now apparently on schedule. There's been mixed messages over the last 24 hours about Nick Pope, whether he's going to be available like this season or not. But apparently he, again, now is going to be available at some point this season. But still, I don't think I'd go for Pope or Dubravka. I don't really know who the Newcastle defender to go for is now. Is it Fabian Schär? Now there's no Lascelles. Let's go for Fabian Schär for now. We could always remove him later. And then maybe we go for Edison. Oh, we can't do it until I've replaced Guardiola. Defenders. So we've got more double game week defenders, really. Ready to prepare that bench boost. Maybe go for one Brighton. No, go for someone nice and cheap like Van Heck. Nice nailed on cheap guy there. Which gives us plenty of money for a final couple of players, I think. Unless it's counting Guardiola's price tag, in which case we might be in a bit of trouble here. So, right, we've got a couple of Brighton players. We've got triple Chelsea. We've got triple City. We could probably do some more Man United. Dalot. So it's, I guess, or Onana. We could go Onana and Dalot. I think, or Guardiola and Guardiola and Edison. I think I've... See, Guardiola was super attacking against Arsenal. I wonder if Onana is actually the solution. Can we restore this player? We are over budget. We are over budget. I think Cher is probably the player to sacrifice here. Who's like the cheapest Newcastle defender who is available? Do we want to go for Burn? It's a little risky, isn't it? Livramento, if he's back soon. We could see Livramento left back, Trippier right back. Couldn't we? Or do we just go Burn? We're still over budget by quite a lot here. Got to sort this out somehow. Don't know who the player to sacrifice is. Feels like we're pretty cheap here. I don't know where all the budget is going. Is it... I guess the Salah, Haaland, Son combination is just too much. What do you think? Dubravka as a goalkeeper instead of Onana, maybe? And then bring in Dalot. That would shave a little bit of money off. Garnacho in. Garnacho would help things. But who would you sacrifice for Garnacho? On a wild card. Garnacho would, like... Because I would really want Richarlison. So I'm not prepared to lose Richarlison. I'm not prepared to lose Son. To be fair, I'm not really prepared to lose any of these guys. Other than maybe Foden. What you could do, potentially, is switch Salah to Foden later on. Which would free up some money that way. Tough one. But Foden to Garnacho does solve it. What would you sacrifice here, guys? I think you're right. Garnacho needs to come in. Muniz for João Pedro and Kelleher for Onana. That's that doesn't really help the long-term goals of this team. Like Kelleher is useless by game week 37, where you'd be looking to bench boost with this wildcard team. Absolutely useless. Can get Richarlison later in game week 35. I guess you could do Salah to Richarlison. But like honestly, next 3 game weeks for Spurs look good. West Ham, Forest and Newcastle. I guess that is a way where you could free up some cash. Would it give you enough though? Garnacho is what? 4.9? Yeah, 4.9. So it'd save 2 million. We would possibly be at an affordable team by that point. I think one of Richarlison or Foden probably needs to go down to Garnacho. And then whichever one you don't have, you trade in for Salah probably. I genuinely think Richarlison could be more useful than Foden. I think. So let's go with this. For a wildcard team with a free hit for game week 34. There we have it. I'm going to actually start Guardiola instead of Van Heck. Just going to put João Pedro. You know what? I think you possibly even try to start João Pedro this game week. See if it works out. Who knows if it actually will. One of Garnacho or João Pedro. That's kind of up to you, I guess. Let's save that. And we'll just go week by week. Just keep optimizing it. Free hit would be 34 anyway, so we don't need to look at that. Then game week 35, you'd possibly be looking to maybe bring in Foden. I guess you don't have to bring in Foden. You could hold Salah all the way till 37 and then bring in Foden. Or De Bruyne even, if you wanted to. Gives you that option, I suppose, doesn't it? I'm just going with double Man City for now. They're still in all competitions, aren't they? Man City. So, well, all remaining competitions. So maybe a double City might actually be better for now. You just have to think about tripling up by 37, but you'd have plenty of time to do so. The only problem is, are we ignoring any short-term options? Like, we've got no Arsenal, for example. Could it be worth going for, like, Gabriel in the short term and then switching to a Man City defender later? I don't think I'd go for Saka. I think I'd be just as happy with some of these other guys than Saka. Let's go Gabriel though. So we go Gabriel for now. Let's do it that way, and then you can always switch to. Well, basically you have 2 Man City players to bring in at a later date, ready for game week 37. using some of your free transfers. Okay. This looks pretty good. It looks pretty strong. And there's probably some of you guys might even have a little bit more extra money to mess around with things. Let's say this for a game week 31 wild card, assuming you also have a free hit to use. Something like that works really well. I will try and do a team also for those who want a wild card now, but also don't have a free hit. It is a lot tougher though. A lot tougher. I would, at this point, go triple R. Well, I don't even know if you can commit that harshly, but you go for a lot of... You'd have to at least double up on each of the teams, wouldn't you? But we need to make sure we're good for the long term as well. So Isaac possibly comes in. You possibly go for like someone like Vicario, who you can bench. I know he's a little bit more expensive, but he's easier to get that extra Chelsea player or Chelsea and Spurs player in, because we do need to make sure we do have some of them. Heung-min Son again can come in. But this is going to be a difficult one. Let's say Garnacho. Let's say Onana, because he has Sheffield United in 34, even though it's no double, but at least he has a double later on. And then, Cunha for the short term. Ike Nori for the short term. And then, oh no, we're way over budget here. We're way over budget. I was going to put Van Heck in again for later on, and maybe a cheap Newcastle guy. But we're way over budget here. Way over budget. So who do you sacrifice? Van Dijk? Honestly, it's so hard. Wildcarding now without a free hit is just it is a recipe for disaster, because you're always going to be missing a few players no matter what you do. So you have to kind of accept that fact, and also you're just not going to be able to capitalize on both game week 34 and 37 and 35 and 36. You can't do it all. So I don't know. Game week 31 wildcard with no free hit, I just think is not viable. Yeah, I'll go back to what I said originally. I'd rather take a -8. I'd rather take a -8 than wildcard now. It's so much better. You just can't cover all your bases. It's just not possible. It's just really not possible. Let's see what the chat's saying. So Masood says, "Hey Dan, how do you feel about Darwin's minutes for the next few game weeks?" I think we're good for this week. After that, I think he's good enough. Like, we've seen consistently that Darwin, even off the bench, is more than capable of getting involved in the goals. And he is going to be at least off the bench. You know, there never goes a game... unless Darwin is injured, he will always play some minutes. And I think it's worth it. I think it is worth it. Keepers are too expensive. In this wildcard team, I guess they are. I guess they are, but I don't really see another way of doing it, really. Because you've got to have some Spurs in there, but you also need to be benching these Spurs players for game week 34. And you probably want to bench Palmer for game week 34 as well. MLG Ant says, hey Dan, Richarlison to Havertz. No, I keep Richarlison. I like him as a pick. I really do like him as a pick. Kieran says, when would you use a wildcard if not this week? I'd use it in game week 35 or 36. If you don't have a free hit. Because what you just do is, you do exactly what I'm doing. You do exactly what I'm doing, which is setting up for game week 34. You know, you've seen me bring in the likes of Salah, Nori, Darwin as well to add to my like Bournemouth players. And, you know, I've got He-Chan on the bench there as well. I'm trying to build toward, and Arsenal, of course. I'm trying to just build towards maximising the amount of double game week players I have for game week 34. And I'm going to basically wildcard them all out, start up a completely fresh team with a whole bunch of new players. Probably Haaland is probably going to be the only player who survives my wildcard in game week 35, because you literally, between game week 34 and 35, you want such a completely different team. That's why the wildcard is so perfect, because it's not a case of, I'll fix a few issues with my wildcard. You're using your wildcard to completely reinvent your team. You're using it to its maximum power. So that's what I do. If I, that is what I am doing. I don't have a free hit. So I'm just going to be... I took a hit last week to get Salah in. Thankfully, I'm not going to need any more hits to get 10, 11 double game week players for 34. Can fully capitalize on that. Refresh in game week 35. And then I'll have maximum amount of double game week players in 35, 36, 37. Maximum. So we're going to pretty much be maximum, which is amazing. Without free hit, that's amazing, in my opinion. So, yeah, take a -8. Take a -8. Scott says, if I was forced to wildcard now with no free hit, I'd target a bench boost in 34 and try to get the key players for 37 after. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. But the key players is going to be triple Chelsea, triple Spurs, triple City. And it's just not possible to get that far without hits. You're going to have to take a -16? Maybe even a -20 in order to get that combination of players. Probably more, actually. You probably need more than that. If you bench boost in 34, if you wildcard now, bench boost in 34 with no free hit, you are basically screwed for the final part of the season. I don't really see how else to look at it, really. A lot of people have been asking about Isak versus Darwin this week. To me, it's a super simple answer to that question is if you have a free hit that you plan to use in game week 34, you buy Isak. If you don't have a free hit to use in game week 34, you buy Darwin. That's the way to do it, I think. Anyone asking about bringing in defenders for -4s? I would not do it. I don't think I'd do it. Drew asking about Saka in for Foden for a -4. Again, I don't think I'd do it. Don't think so. I do not think so. That Isak versus Darwin thing, it just seems super simple to me, though. It's about planning. For me, I'll take Darwin now, and I'll take Isak on my wild card in 35. But honestly, remember, Isak scored 2 penalties. One of them very, very questionable. If Newcastle didn't get any penalties in that game, we would be having a very different conversation about Isak. And don't get me wrong, he looked good in that game, generally speaking. I do like Isak a lot as a pick, regardless of the penalties. But I think, there would be a very different conversation if Newcastle didn't get any penalties in that game. Very different. And you never know when penalties going to happen either. Chandra with a super chat says, need to take a -12 this week, so need to get it right. Okay. No playing goalkeepers and 2 playing defenders. All right. So, Raya, Nori, Son, Semenyo, or Pickford, White, Foden, Mateta. Completely depends on whether you're free hitting in 34 or not. I feel like I cannot answer a single FPL related question unless I know whether you're free hitting in 34 or not. So Jandre, put in the chat, let me know, are you free hitting in 34 or not? By looking at these players, I'm guessing you are not free hitting based on the fact that you've going for a lot of double game week players in those two. Of the 2 combinations, I do prefer the first one. Raya, Aït-Nouri, Son and Semenyo. I do prefer that combination. So maybe we'll just say that. Raya, Aït-Nouri, Son, Semenyo. By the way, Ben White, I don't think he's 100% nailed on for every single game now that Tomiyasu's back. Tomiyasu was doing so well before his injury. No free hit, okay. Yeah, I like your first combination. I like your first combination better. Raya is a better goalkeeper than Pickford. Aït-Nouri I think, can go toe-to-toe with Ben White. Son is better than Foden. And Semenyo and Mateta. Mateta's probably better. But there's not a huge amount in it. Hopefully that solves that one. Monten Gaming says, hey Dan, what should I do if I don't have a wild card and free hit? Oh, yeah, that's tough. Yeah, if you don't have a wild card or a free hit, you are probably in trouble. Yeah, I don't know how to put it any other way. If you don't have a free hit or a wild card, quite simply, it is going to be tough. It's going to be tough to navigate the rest of the season. you're not going to be able to maximize any particular double game week. I think you've just got to make sure you pick the key players. So Saka and Salah for game week 34. Haaland, Son and Palmer for 37. And outside of that, you're not going to be able to get all of the best players. But I think if you just as long as you have the key players, then I think you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Sounds like a few of you guys want to bench list today. We will do a bench list. John says no free hit gang. Mate, I am a part of the no free hit gang, and I'm feeling pretty confident. Battle Guild says, what are the chances of Wolves early team news? We'll see what we can find, as always. Sometimes we get it, sometimes we don't with early team news. Wolves is not a team we get too much of, typically. Amaral says, hey Dan, Saka or Foden? If wildcard this week and free hit 34, can't afford both. I take Foden. I take Foden over Saka if I was on a wildcard now and free hitting at 34. Kieran says, any captain tips, Dan? Pretty straightforward. Salah this game week, I think. Pretty straightforward this week. Yeah, I don't really think this is the week to go differential. I mean, you could do, but it's so risky. Steve asking about best triple captain options. I mean, if I bring up the calendar that we have, you're looking at game week 34 as a potential triple captain week. Salah versus Fulham and Everton looks pretty good. Outside of that, if one of Chelsea or Spurs has a double game week in 35 or 36, could be pretty nice. Haaland against against Fulham and Spurs. You could even go Son against Burnley and City. I actually really do like that. I think that's probably going to be the most underrated kind of triple captain opportunities of the season. Son versus Burnley and City. Kieran says no Salah. Outside of Salah, you're probably looking at Erling Haaland. Could have another go on Cole Palmer. Definitely see the appeal. Could captain Darwin. I think it's a little riskier though. But, you know, Haaland against Aston Villa, it's not too bad. Not too bad. When will Alisson be back? I wish I knew for sure. It's going to be within the next few weeks. I think Alisson will be back by game week 34. Yeah. And I say this as a Kelleher owner. I have Kelleher in my team, and I'm not really not convinced he is going to be of any use to me by the double game week for Liverpool, which is unfortunate, but, you know, it is what it is. Anyone captaining someone other than Salah this week, says Lucas. Let us know, guys. Who are you captaining this game week? If you are captaining someone other than Salah. Salah's going to be dangerous. If you don't own Salah this game week, he could be like 180% EO this week. Could be insane. Masood says start Tony or Sarabia. So it's Tony versus Brighton. I actually need to hide. Hang on, let's hide this column. Hide column. That's a bit better. We'll hide this column as well. So, yeah, it's against Brighton. Or we also have Sarabia against Burnley, which I'd also be very tempted by. I actually don't know the answer to that one. I probably would play Tony. He's more talismanic, isn't he? Talismanic. What is the word? Either of those real words? Let's Google this. Talismanic. Talismanic? Not talismatic. No. Talismanic. There you go. Every day's a school day. Every single day. Thoughts on Eze? Like him as a pick, but be aware that his game week 32 and 33 fixtures are horrible. I don't think Bournemouth is particularly good either, to be fair. If you already have Eze, fine, but I think you can definitely wait until game week 34 before bringing in Eberechi Eze, because Man City and Liverpool back-to-back are not ideal fixtures at all, and Bournemouth away is not great either. It really is not great. Lewis says, hey Dan, would you play Pickford or Dubravka this game week? I would play... That's tough. I think probably Dubravka. I'll go for Dubravka. James says, hi Dan, Would you play Flecken or Neto? Loving the Tash, you sexy beast. Thank you very much. I'm glad the mustache is growing on people, because there was a lot of pushback at the start, but I think people are finally starting to accept the mustache for what it is, and it's here to stay. Well, not sure for how long, but for a little bit at least. Neto, I'd play Neto, James. Noel with the £10 super chat. Thank you very much. Very generous, Noel. Says, I was planning on Garnacho to Salah, Ake to Bradley, Watkins to Mateta for a -4, but now can't afford it. I'm not sure what to do, as I wanted a midfield of Son, Palmer, Foden, Saka and Salah. More hits? Well, is there any other way of going a little cheaper? Like Mateta, for example. Could you do Semenyo instead of Mateta? Is there like enough of a difference between those two players' price? Let's have a look. I think well, it depends on your budget, really. You've obviously got Muniz there as well. But Mateta is 4.9. Okay. Semenyo is 4.5. Does that solve that situation? Because remember, Semenyo also has a double game week in 34. Unless you're already tripled up on Bournemouth somehow. And then you could just go for the four-man Muniz. 4.7, a little bit cheaper as well. Forest, Newcastle, West Ham, not exactly horrible fixtures. It's not ideal for 34, but you can maybe just deal with that situation when it comes by. So yeah, no, I don't think I'd take the additional hit. I'd perhaps just go for Semenyo or Muniz instead of Mateta. Mateta or Fofana this week. If you're planning for 34, Mateta is the guy. That's why so many people are buying Mateta, by the way. It's because he has a double game week in 34 against West Ham and Newcastle, both at home. Two amazing opportunities for forwards. Really, really nice. I really like Eze for that double game week, by the way. He's 100% going to be in my game week 34 team, assuming he's fit. 100%. Semenyo is also too far out. Northwood. Oh, so you are nowhere near. You are nowhere near being able to afford it. So you say you now can't afford it? No, my friend, you couldn't have been able to afford this for weeks, if not months. But let's try and solve this for you. So Semenyo is still too much. Could you maybe sacrifice someone else? So rather than removing Garnacho, you could remove like Foden, potentially. If you remove Foden instead, then you might even be able to do like a Darwin instead of Mateta. And that could make the team look better overall. Because it would be nice to have Darwin as a possible player to play for the next few game weeks. Because Mateta, he's good for game week 34. But outside of that, he's not that useful to you. I mean, could you go even cheaper? Like, what's the cheapest forward in the game that is like likely to get points? Because you say you're far out 0.9, so I guess no one is going to be able to be affordable for you. You literally can't do any other forward. Yeah, I don't know. Do not have the answers for this one, unfortunately. Yeah, I think you're going to have to do something else. I don't know if I'd want to take a -8, though. I really don't think I'd want to do that. If you can avoid it. Just like, I think at a certain point, you have to accept you can't have everyone. Like for me, for example, I don't have Son. I just have to accept I don't have Son. It would be great if I could have, you know, Foden, Saka, Salah, Palmer, Son, Erling Haaland, Solanke, Darwin, Gabriel, Saliba, Ben White, Alisson, Van Dijk. It would be amazing if you could have them all, but you can't. And that's part of the challenge of FPL. So I think at a certain point, you have to kind of just say, okay, one of these has to go. I can't have every single one. One of them has to be sacrificed. I think that's the position a lot of people find themselves in. Like Son owners, for example. Like I don't have Son, but a lot of Son owners right now won't have one of Foden or Saka. Or maybe won't even have one of Salah or Haaland. But it'd probably be mostly one of Foden or Saka, right? It's going to be difficult. Lisa Snace with the super chat says, hey Dan, thanks for your great advice as always. So which do you prefer? I either sell Son and Watkins for Salah and Darwin, or I sell Foden and Watkins for Salah and Mateta. Not sure I like selling Son. I would not be too keen on selling Son either, personally. Yeah, maybe Foden has to go. The only problem is, it's that Luton Town game in 33. Like, that's a game week you really do want to have Foden. But given that Man City are in all competitions, there could be some rotation and you could get lucky. And I think that's one of the reasons why I would be okay-ish with selling Foden. I wouldn't be totally happy with it, but, you know, you're not going to be happy with selling Son. It goes back to what I was saying. You can't have them all. You have to sacrifice someone, and it's down to who is most important to you. Selling Foden and Watkins for Salah and Mateta is decent. Ultimately, you will probably prefer to have Salah and Darwin, but you'd have to lose Son. You can always bring Son back in later on in the season. I think both options are great. In terms of what I would probably do, is I would probably go the Salah and Mateta route and sell Foden and Watkins. That's probably what I would do in your situation. I hope that helps. Masood, member for 1 month. Thank you very much, my friend. Propinor says, hey Dan, bench 2, play 2. Saka, Garnacho, Gusto, Munoz. I'd play... Who does Munoz play this week? Bournemouth, right? Saka, well, I'd play Saka. I would 100% play Saka. And then I would probably play... I'd probably just try Gusto. Probably, yeah, I'll try Gusto. We don't know for sure if he's going to start, but I think it's worth a go. And you know what? It's defenders. Like, let's be honest. If Gusto doesn't start or he doesn't play at all, then, you know, you're just going to get an auto sub anyway. If Gusto plays just a few minutes in the game, then he gets a 1-pointer. And let's be honest, with defenders this season, you know, they often get 1 or 2 pointers anyway. And Munoz probably gets a 1 or 2 pointer anyway. So, yeah. I don't know, man. Right. Before we do bench list and stuff, should we get Mrs. FPL Mate in? Should we see if she wants to come in and do our team? We'll see what she's got. She's got on our team. Let's find it. If I can find it. Here it is. Let's throw it on screen. Morgan's team. Here we go. Ooh. She's in a bit of trouble. Wizzy Lover says, do you suggest a double either Arsenal or Liverpool defence, and which? I prefer to, well, Arsenal are a better defence and Liverpool are a better attack. So I prefer to double on Arsenal's defence and double on Liverpool's attack, personally. That's what I would do. Issa says, do you think Livramento will play today? I think there's a decent chance. Did Mrs. FPL Mate approve of the mustache? It's her bloody idea. Take it up with her. Take it up with the missus. Hello? 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 Please, everyone, will you welcome to the stage with a big round of applause, Mrs. FPL Mate. Yeah.
Hello. Right.
Well, I'm taking a break.
Started. No, don't leave on my own.
No, I'm taking a break. No. No, you...
No.
No, I'm on my
I'm
break.
too awkward to be doing this on my own.
Give it a go. You might enjoy it. You might find yourself with a new skill.
Have you opened my team up for me?
Uh-huh.
Oh, you are good.
It is.
That one?
That one there.
Okay. Oh, there's a few red flags there, isn't there?
Yeah.
That is a lot of red flags. Okay, talk me through this.
Okay, let's talk ourselves through it. So you've got 2 free transfers.
Yeah.
And chat, please feel free to contribute and help out here, because we do have a situation that needs resolving. So your midfield looks good.
Yeah.
It looks very good, actually.
I'm quite happy with my midfield, actually.
As you should be. You don't have a goalkeeper. Areola is injured and Whitworth doesn't play.
Okay.
So
I need to do a goalkeeper.
So one of your transfers should be a goalkeeper.
How's Doherty?
Doughty. He is probably not going to play.
Okay, Watkins.
But you do have Emerson who could come in and
I don't think he's played the last few games though. Oh no, he did. He got quite a few points last week,
I don't think that's true.
didn't he? Oh,
No, 0 points, 2 points,
it's
0
still not
points.
good.
Hey, it's better than nothing. So what I would probably suggest is just bench Doughty this week.
Yeah.
So swap him with Emerson.
Yeah.
And Bernardo can probably stay on the bench. And I'd make 2 transfers, 1 goalkeeper, and I'd replace Ollie Watkins as well.
Okay.
Do you have a wild card?
No.
Save those transfers as those subs.
How do I do it on here?
With
The
that
button.
save, yeah.
And
You have your
then
bench. I think you have your wild card.
I don't know if I want a wild card.
No. I'm just thinking for future.
Cool. So let's.
So
Am I
now
on
we
the right
need to go on the
page?
transfers page.
Yeah.
What's your rank, by the way? Oh, you're top 1 million.
Am I really?
People are saying they can't see the team. Oh yeah, that's so true. I forgot to. This is what happens when I take my fingers off the pulse. Right. Okay. So sorry guys. This is the. Let's just go back to this page. This is the team right now. This is what she's dealing with.
It's not bad.
Yeah, but Areola and Watkins need to go basically. So yeah, right. Suggestions, guys. How much money you got in the bank?
6.3.
Oh my word!
I've been
Okay.
keeping money. It's called investing.
Is it indeed?
Yeah. Yeah.
So click X on Areola and Watkins straight up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, do you want to use your special technique?
Yeah, so let's just go with Watkins first. So as many as you probably know, my special technique is I go on select replacement. I then search by... Oh, it's a bit different on your phone, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
How do I do it on this one?
You like to go by form.
Oh,
don't you?
there we go. So I go by form, and then I normally choose the top one. So as you can see here, we've got Isaac. How's little Isaac doing? So he's not doing bad at the minute, is he? 15, 6 and 6 points. And is this week goal week 31?
Goal week.
Game week.
Yes.
Who's he playing against? Everton.
Yeah. Oh my word, what's
Sorry.
going on?
Okay, Everton. Okay, so he's potential. Matea.
Yeah, Mattia.
Yeah, he's all right. 8, 9 and 2, 6. Yeah, maybe potentially put him in. He's got a green game as well. I can't work out which team that is though that he's playing against.
Bournemouth.
Okay. Minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, to be fair, I've already got quite a couple of Fulham players, I think.
You have no Fulham players.
Oh no, I
whatsoever.
don't, do I? Ooh. Well, Isaac is kind of screaming out to me, if I'm honest. I might just go with my my technique.
Yeah.
But I've got quite a lot.
Yeah, you can afford anyone. James France, thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel. Absolute legend. Shout out, James.
Woo! Okay, let's do Isaac for now.
Yeah.
And then Areola.
Uh-huh.
Let's go. Oh, Nana. He's pretty good, isn't he? Oh, he's not great fixtures.
No.
Vernberg.
Vernberg.
Verbruggen.
Mm-hmm.
Verbruggen. What are his odds? No, he's playing against Arsenal, so probably isn't going to be good to come up. Aston Villa. Oh, Dan, this is a difficult one. Ooh. How's Martin up for goalkeeper wise?
Martin. I've never heard anyone call him Martin.
That's his last name, isn't it?
Kind of. Spanish names work a little bit differently.
Martin.
Yeah, well, that it would be how
Martin.
you say it, yeah, but David Raya. is his
Oh!
name. The Arsenal goalkeeper.
Maybe I should put him in then. Because his points are pretty good and he's got some relatively okay fixtures.
I have a feeling you've already got triple Arsenal. You've
I
got
might
Saliba,
do.
Gabriel, Saka, don't you?
Yeah, okay, right.
Josh in the chat says, are you excited for Shrewsbury back next season? You could be back in the Premier League, Shrewsbury.
he'll go right in my team first week.
Yeah, obviously.
Because obviously the beginning of the team week is, well, the beginning of the game year, let's say. I always put fun names in because, you know, mix it up a bit.
Why not?
Why not, eh? Okay.
Do you want to try and say that name?
Which one?
Yeah, that one.
Vicario.
What's the first name?
Giulegimo.
Giulegimo. Why not? You've got a super chat. That super chat is not for me. That is for you. From Luke.
Yeah, right. You know what, Luke? I actually encouraged him to get the tash. I said to him the other day he should grow it a little bit, and then he's doing all right. It's all right, isn't it? I think it suits him.
I think people are talking to you in the chat as well, so feel free to read it.
I can't multitask.
Fair enough.
It's a bit overstimulating for me. You can read them out for me, though.
Okay, fine. I'll be the reader. I'll be your secretary.
That'll be quite fun. Right, okay. Goalkeeper, Dan.
Yes.
Maybe we should just go...
what did you call him? Vertberg or something?
Vertberg. What's the likeliness of Areola coming back?
0% this week.
Okay. Is it worth maybe keeping Areola and putting him as my reserve and then replacing Whitworth?
You could do that. Yeah, you could.
I might
do
do that because I feel like then it'll give me the option for two pretty good players.
That's a good idea.
And then I might just put him in Brighton because they're playing against. Hello.
He wants to join in.
He's going to help. Put him on my lap if you want.
He's going to help.
Yeah, let's do that. Because, yeah.
Okay.
Thoughts?
It's not what I would do.
You wouldn't do anything I do. And look at how well I've been doing the last couple of weeks, hey?
Yeah, you haven't been doing too badly.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with that, I think.
Who does Verbruggen play this week? Is it Brentford?
Brentford.
And Isak plays Everton this week. You know what?
I think they're okay.
It could be worse.
Yeah?
I've seen worse. Yeah, okay. Fine.
We like to take a risk.
Yeah.
I'm a risk taker.
Okay.
It might pay off.
It could.
Right. Okay, let's click save.
Okay, let's just see what the chat is saying. If they're making any suggestions. Well, Linus says Dubravka, cheap and nailed. Nailed means going to play lots of games.
Okay.
Wrestle Rumble of the World says you should get Raya. Can't tripled Arsenal already. CFC Ethan says bring in Neto from Bournemouth and Darwin from Liverpool. Potentially. I mean, you've got enough money in the bank. You could just get Erling Haaland if you wanted to.
I don't want Haaland. Everyone's got Haaland.
A bit boring, isn't he?
He's so boring.
Linus says Steele might play though. Yes, yeah. Verbruggen has a little bit of rotation risk, but because you're keeping Areola, it doesn't matter too much.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then I can kind of play between them. I'm quite happy.
A good pick. Gamerov says good team.
Yeah.
James France says I've watched you from day one, so it's about time I joined. Wow, amazing, James. Thank you so much.
Cool. Well, I'm happy.
If you're happy, I'm happy. How much money do you have in the bank still?
I've got so much money in the bank.
Oh
6.5. I'm just saving it for a rainy day.
Okay, fair enough.
Thing is, it just shows it's not about money.
What is it about?
It's about risk.
Sure.
And if you take that risk, it pays off. You don't need these big expensive players like Haaland. Ugh, bin him. I'm top 1 million. Didn't have him in my team.
That's true. You've managed it. You've got another super chat.
Please help choose starting 8 attacker for goal week 31. Son, Saka, Palmer, Foden, Solanke, Muniz, Darwin and Salah. Yeah. That looks good, doesn't it? Is that good?
Oh, answer his question, or his or her question. I'm sure they're dying to hear your answer.
I think that sounds good, right?
We haven't. You have to choose. You have to choose. I think what he wants is you to choose 7 of those 8 players.
Oh, okay.
So choose 1 to bench. Basically.
Okay. So Saka definitely have on your team because we all love Saka. He's very cute. He's my favourite football player. Palmer's doing good. Solanke's doing good. Salah's doing good. Darwin's doing good. I would probably bench Foden.
Really?
He's got Son on his team, so I would probably bench Foden.
Fair enough.
Or Muniz. I don't really know who Muniz is, unfortunately. So...
yeah, I actually don't know who I would bench out of those players.
Foden. Bench Foden.
I guess, honestly, that's not the worst advice. Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah,
I'm good.
I'd potentially bench Foden as well. That's really hard, though. I don't know.
It's a good team. It's quite a strong team. It's got potential, that.
There's lots of potential there. Lots of potential. There you go.
Right. Let's make this transfer because I will forget. Confirm.
Just make sure everything's in the right place. Make sure you've got your captain right.
Let's switch through this one. And then who's Palmer playing this week?
Manchester United.
Manchester United. Who's Saka playing this week?
Luton.
Oh, you know what, lads? And lasses. Sorry. Let's captain Saka. I've got some hope in him. Who's Foden playing?
Aston Villa.
Nah. Salah.
Sheffield United.
Oh.
That's a good one, isn't it? That's
they're two strong games.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Everyone's going to captain Salah, so I don't like to be a sheep. I'm going to captain Saka and I'm going to stick with it because it's just quite fun, isn't it, to be different?
Yes. I would set your vice captain, though, just in case.
Well, we'll vice captain Salah because you never know. It might just happen. Who's Solanke playing?
No, Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
There's quite a few green game weeks for players I've got today. Well, this week.
Yeah.
That's fine. I think I'm just going to stick with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll see.
The only issue is you have Morris playing away against Arsenal. Is it maybe worth going for Bernardo instead of him?
Morris?
Yeah, could potentially play Bernardo instead of Morris. Potentially.
Yeah, why not?
Don't know what I would do there.
Oh, look at that defence. Is that defence?
What?
That long line?
The midfield.
Oh, the midfielders. That is a big midfield.
Yeah, it's very large.
It's a very large midfield.
That's okay though.
That's fine.
No problem there.
It's all right. It's good being in the middle.
Yeah.
Not too high, not too low. Middle ground. It's quite nice.
You're a weird kid.
Sorry. A bit high for today.
All right. Happy
Cool.
days.
Yeah, no, I'm quite happy. Can everyone just put in the chat, out of 10, how good you think my team is? If 10 is the best team you've ever seen in your life and 0 is the worst team you've ever seen in your life, out of 10, what would you give my team? I would probably say 7.5.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Let's see what everyone else says. I'm very interested.
There is a chat delay, so they'll all start answering.
Someone put 1.4.
That's not very good.
That's mean. Come on now.
What are you doing, you stupid cat?
Our cat's currently destroying Daniel's setup at the moment. Bless him.
He can be a baby.
Minus 69. Well, that's very mature.
That is very mature, isn't it?
You know what? Look, I think we've got average of 7 there. I'm quite happy with that. A couple of 6s, but you know, yeah, I'm happy with above 5. I am a risk taker. I do like these annoying ones. 5.8906.
Nice.
That's very mathematical.
Someone says get Mbumwe in.
Mbumwe.
Gotta have him back.
Maybe we'll get him in soon. We should get Milton a team, actually, shouldn't we?
He deserves one.
Yeah. Bless him.
You'd like to come down now.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
Right, I think I'll let you guys carry on.
Yeah, we've got the bench list to do next.
Yeah. So enjoy your game week, everybody, and you may see me next week. You may not. It's all part of the fun.
I suppose it is.
It's all part of the mystery. It's like when will she pop up? When will she appear? Nobody knows. Isn't that just the beauty of FPL?
Yes. Indeed.
Right.
Tell everyone to leave a like before you go.
Leave a like. Actually, yeah. How many likes are in the chat at the moment? I want to see how many we can get.
Should we set a like target?
Actually, this will be fun. I'm not moving.
We're only on 122 likes.
I'm not moving until we get 500 likes.
Yeah, but they might want you to stay. How many likes?
124.
No, how many did you say you wanted?
500.
We're not going to get 500 likes. There's barely even 500 people watching.
Oh, well, that's 500 people who can like.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. All of you right now, you're all watching. So, come on. Takes 10 seconds.
It takes less than 10 seconds, to be fair.
No, it's going up. It's going up. Right, come on. Come on. You know, I'll lower it to 300. Come on, 300.
We're not getting 300 likes. We'd maybe get 200 out of push.
Right, it's going up.
Okay. This 300 is not going to happen. All right, fine. If you want to set the like target as 300, you can sit there for the next 30 minutes whilst we wait for it to go up.
No, too shy. Right, I will go. Keep up the likes though, guys. I am expecting good things. I will send a very happy message in the chat if we do get to 500. Yeah. There you go.
There we go.
Right, take care. Have a nice week.
Oh, dearie me. Oh, can you... Yeah, can you take a young cat with you? Oh my word, what is he doing now?
I'll get his treats. You carry on.
Alright, fine. Fine. Alright, we're back. Actually, we are genuinely closing in on 300 likes. It could actually happen somehow. Fair play. Fair play. The Mrs. FPL Mate effect is in full force. Like, you guys don't give me the likes when I ask for them. When she comes along, it's all different, isn't it? All different. No, I appreciate that, guys. And, yeah, thank you. I guess thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience. Vihan says, there's our usual clown. Yeah, we're back. We're back. We're back in business. Oh, right. Should we talk about FPL properly again now? We probably should, shouldn't we? She's great, isn't she? She really is a good laugh. Good laugh. Right. All right. Let's do a bench list. Let's get this terrible FPL team off our screens immediately. This is just not. It's just not it. But fine. Morgan is in the chat. She says 500 likes or I'll cry. Can I pin this message? Let's pin the message. There you go. There we go. Lost Hobbitos says, Dan, because she's sweetheart and you are our stash man. I suppose so, yeah. Henry says, it's the innocence of thinking you can get so many likes that makes me want to do it. I know. It's just so, thinking it's so easy. Yeah, we'll just do 500 likes. How hard can it be? Very hard. Very, very hard. I bet it works. It works. The optimism works. All right, bench list, guys. Bench list. This is last week's bench list, so let's get rid of all of these players and we'll start afresh. We'll start a brand new. Super chat from Linus says Emerson assisting coming. Can you imagine now if Emerson bangs? Can you imagine? Hornet Boy says Beauty and the Beast. You shouldn't call Morgan a beast. I know I am a beauty, but I mean you don't need to call her a beast. Come on. Right, let's get this going. Let's get this going. Who would you like to see on the bench list? Come on. Who would you like to see on here? Who have I seen on here so far? Edward says 500 likes and Dan will captain Darwin. I don't think so, mate. I don't think so. Sap says, sorry if I missed you speaking about this, but Foden versus Son for Salah. Gut says Foden, but he's with the slightly better fixtures. Yeah, but Son is more nailed on and is going to be the highest scoring FPL asset. So I don't have any problem with selling Foden to fund Salah. If that's the way you need to do it, you just have to accept you can't have everyone. But anyway, right. So bench list, guys. Bench list. So we've got Muniz, a lot of people talking about him, about potentially benching him. Semenyo, you probably play Muniz ahead of Solanke at the moment, to be fair. Richarlison, I would look to start this week. Maybe Richarlison. Coward, don't call me a coward. Come on. You should know by now that I'm not a coward. There is a time and a place for differentials, my friend. There is a time and a place. Someone asked for some goalkeepers. All right, Neto and Raya. I think you back Raya whenever you can. But you probably put Kelleher. In fact, you probably put Kelleher ahead of Raya. Kelleher's probably the best goalkeeper in the game for this game week. Right, Garnacho against Chelsea, I would put here. Bowen. Bowen at home against Spurs. Probably here. Bailey can go towards the bottom. Let's put him down here. Still put him above Semenyo, I think. Palmer goes to the top. Never bench Palmer. Douglas Luiz can go probably even lower than Semenyo. Actually, you never know. Penalties potentially. Nah, if I'm totally honest, I would not play Douglas Luiz. Eze looks good this week. I think. Well, I mean, it's okay at least. Let's go here for Eze. Want some defenders on there. Mateta just reached 300 likes. Nice one, guys. Nice one. Appreciate that. Thank you. Right, Zabani. Actually, he prefers Zabani to Douglas Luiz, I think, this week. Morris Bin. Well, I mean, to be fair, if anyone's scoring against Arsenal, it's probably going to be a Morris type character. So let's put him here. A Stupinian. Stupinian's tight with Savani, I think. Mateta probably goes here. Hoyland probably similar. Onana and Petrovic. I mean, ideally you don't play either, but I think I'd back Petrovic ahead of Onana this week. Watkins is injured. We're not going to put him on there. He's not going to play anyway. David says McAllister. I'm surprised how many people have picked up McAllister, to be honest. He wouldn't be going super high for me. He'd probably go here. Or would he? He's probably good for an assist. Maybe there. Cunha. A little risky. A little risky, Cunha, this week. If he starts, great. If he starts, he's probably reasonably high. Maybe up here. Although he could be a little bit... I don't know. He might need to take a couple of games to get back into it. Sarabia can go around McAllister's level, I think. Dan Burn can go at the bottom. Gusto. I don't know if I'd bother playing Gusto this week, to be honest. Yeah. Maybe here? Nah. Down here. Pau Torres, bottom. Ait Nori, you definitely start him. He's probably going to be better than a lot of these. He's probably one of my favourite defenders for the game week, to be honest. Actually, let's make... Should I make Morgan's account a moderator? So I could see her. There we go. Morgan, I don't know if you're watching, but you're now a moderator of the channel. Don't ask me why. Just so I can see your name more easily in the chat if you ever say anything. Right, where were we? Foden. And Foden and Saka. You've got to start Saka, right? Foden probably comes in here. Or maybe... maybe here? Yeah. Yeah, there. Tony. A few people asking about Tony. Gotta be here, I think. Gotta be here. Yeah. doggy. Son doesn't need to go on there. You're playing Son. Come on, let's be honest. A doggy can go... I'm not going to put him super high, to be honest. Like here. Spurs always concede, don't they? They always concede. Maddison. Somewhere in the middle. Around here. Taylor. Just would not look to start Taylor any given game week, really. Would maybe put him here. Wood. I don't know if he's popular enough. Region. People still have Region. Darwin doesn't need to go on there. You play Darwin, obviously. Mateta's already on screen. I think we've hit all of the main players. Is the Porro the same as a doggy? Yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? Isak, like... People just buying Isak now and now wondering whether to bench him or not. Come on. Come on. Scott says, am I okay this week with Son, Salah, Saka, Palmer, Richarlison, Haaland and Muniz as my attackers? Yep, absolutely. A good load of attackers there. Looking pretty strong. Right, a few people are actually asking for Region here, which is crazy, but okay. The doggy's already on there. Romero, you can infer where he would be. Right, Region. I mean, I'm not feeling too confident. I'd maybe just about put him above Burn. Van Heck. Maybe here. Emerson. Emerson's not going in. FPL Genius says, what about Son? Are you seriously thinking about benching Son? This is the bench list. You're not going to bench Son, are you? Really? Is anyone seriously considering benching Son? If so, I want to know what you're smoking. Something crazy. Branthwaite. A few people asking about Branthwaite, to be fair. Yeah, Branthwaite would be pretty low for me. Pretty low. I'm not expecting a clean sheet there at all. We'd maybe even put him as low as here. I'd maybe even potentially rather play Taylor than Branthwaite. I guess. But, you know, maybe... Let's put him there. Jake says, Maddison out for Saka, -4. I don't think that's an essential transfer to make for a -4. I'd definitely do it for free. It does improve your team. Does it improve your team by 4 points in the immediate term? Or can you maybe wait till next week to do it? That's the question. I mean, I think I would possibly do it, but that has the potential to go wrong as a transfer. It really does have the potential. You've got no guaranteed results there. That's not a slam dunk transfer or anything like that. If you feel strongly about making that transfer, I would do it. But be prepared for it to potentially go wrong. You probably won't make back your 4 points this game week for making that transfer. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. Would Maguire be above Van Heck? People have Maguire as well. I mean, if I had to put Maguire in, I'd probably put him here. Low. Pretty low. Well, to put Jackson on the list, to be fair, people do have Jackson. Do I have an FPL Challenge team? Well, I think we'll talk about FPL Challenge after the deadline. Jackson, I would put him like maybe here. Or would I? Maybe I'd go one higher. There we go. Is Gusto actually fit to play? Who knows? Who knows? Son and Darwin are not going on this list. There is no way. What do you want me to put? Oh, Salah, Haaland, everyone? There's no point. You guys know to play these players. And if you don't know to play these players, then you don't deserve the tips, quite frankly. Nah, that's harsh. But no. You play these kind of players. And I do want to save the slots on the bench list for players who are like genuine, like really tough decisions, tough calls, whether to play them or not. For sure. Munoz is already... Oh, no, Muniz is already on. Munoz is not on the bench list. He can go in... He can go... Tough. Here? Something like that? That looks pretty good. Guimaraes. Bruno Guimaraes. No one has him, do they? I don't think I'd play Bruno Guimaraes if I had him. Just doesn't really do enough in terms of FPL. Right, Kai Havertz. A lot of people have picked up Kai Havertz recently, to be fair. I mean, yeah, you play him. No doubt about that, you play him. Scott, thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Welcome, welcome. Mike says Darwin in Solanke free transfer. No, I don't think so. I don't think Solanke is a decent player to have. Double game week in 34, nice fixtures up until then. Solanke doesn't need to go anywhere. Don't think he's worth a transfer. No, I'd rather roll that transfer. Henry says, Dan, why is Estupinian so high? Is he that high? Probably won't even play. That's a good point. He probably won't play, will he? Or will he? Like, Brentford is not the worst fixture. They're hardly scoring at the moment, and he does have a bit of attacking threat. But if you want me to drop him lower, I take requests. He can go under Gusto. But I mean, if we're totally honest, the players underneath him anyway, like, they're not great. Gusto, who's probably even less likely to play than Estupinian. Munoz plays against Bournemouth away. Adogi and Pedro Porro score 1 or 2 points every single game week, like for the last 20 game weeks in a row. Region, don't know 100% if he's going to start or not. Don't expect him to keep a clean sheet. Van Heck, no attacking threat really. 6 points Merchant. Then we've got Newcastle defence, terrible. Everton against Newcastle, terrible. Man United against Chelsea, yeah. He's not actually that high when you think about it. It's that he looks high because we don't have, like... If we added, like Connor Bradley, Van Dijk, Gabriel, Saliba, Ben White, Kivior, Guardiola, Ruben Dias, all of these players, then you would quickly find that Stupinian would actually be quite low. But these aren't questionable bench players, I guess. Anyone asking about triple captain in Salah? I would not do it personally. I would save it for later on. Save that chip. Save it for a double game week. You've always got a better chance. That's what I would do personally. If you really feel like triple captaining Salah against Sheffield United, crack on, go for it. But I would save it personally. Dubravka. Okay. Dubravka I would probably play. I would give him a go ahead of Petrovic and Onana. But no higher than that. Kabalash says, Dan, do a captain poll with 2 options, Salah and other. And does Salah top it? Yes, he does. I can tell you. Alright. Who is the best Game Week 31 captain? Salah or literally anyone else? You'll quickly find that Salah will dominate this poll. De Bruyne and Fleck. We can put Fleck in him. You don't need... Alright, people are asking for Isak so much. I thought it was obvious, but apparently not. Yes, you 100% play Isak. Alright, who else did I say I was going to add in? I'm not going to add in De Bruyne. If you have De Bruyne, you play him. If you don't have De Bruyne... Well, if you have De Bruyne and you're not going to play him, sell him. Because there is no room for that much money on the bench at the moment. There really isn't. Alright, Flecken can go on. He's not going to go particularly high. I'd maybe put him here. Elanga. I can't believe he asked for Elanga. Did he even start last game week? I don't think he did he? Home against Fulham. I don't know if I'd take that risk. I would possibly put him like here. This bench list is getting so long that... Can you guys even read that text anymore? It's getting too small. I've added too many players. I've been too generous. Like, I mean, we've got... Colin has asked me for Son for about the 6th time. So if you're going to bench Son... No way, surely not. Why does he belong on the bench list? He just doesn't belong on there. Guardiola, alright. Guardiola can go on. He can go... here. Brennan Johnson. Rishab's wanting Brennan Johnson and Luis Diaz. If you want to pick 0.1% owned players, you're going to have to roll with your own advice, unfortunately. We can't add differentials like that to the bench list. I mean, I'm not happy about the fact I've put Son on there, to be honest. I'm really not happy about the way... How Son has managed to worm himself onto the bench list is, quite frankly, offensive. Quite frankly, offensive. Kabalash says, Dan, Son Hall incoming. Remember that? I mean, it's happened every single game week for the last 1 million game weeks, other than the one game week I've owned him. So, yeah, I have no doubt about that. I have nothing to remember. It's already... It was defined a long time ago. Best Gordon replacement? Like, Palmer or... Havertz, potentially. Richarlison, I like. Someone like that, maybe. Depends who you already have, really. Like, if you don't have a Saka or you don't have a Salah, might be an opportunity to get one of them in. Even if it takes 2 transfers to do it. Mark says selling Haaland to fund Salah. It's risky. It's risky. If you can do it any other way, I probably would. Probably would. Martinelli. I'm not going to put Martinelli in. He's too differential. I've already been far too generous here with our bench list inclusions. You can't even read any of this anymore. I need to remove some of these players, honestly. Cam's just going to put Gross in. We're going to add more players in. All right, fine. Gross can go in somewhere like here. Eze's the Gordon replacement. The problem is Eze doesn't have a great fixture this week, and then the next 2 after that are terrible fixtures. So as good as he is, how good is he going to do in that run of 3 fixtures? Could you not just wait till game week 34 to bring him in? Is it time for Mbeumo yet? I think Mbeumo is not going to be the same player as you saw earlier on in the season, unfortunately. He's not got penalties anymore. He's no longer going to be the focal point of the Brentford attack. Clickus says the list is a joke. Please, Clickus, enlighten us. What is wrong with it? Who should be moving? I mean, it's certainly a joke with how many players are on it at this point. But yeah, Viraj says the deadline is today. Yeah, man. Deadline is in 40 minutes to be more precise. Sonny says, can you do Kivior, please? All right. I mean, I would definitely start him. He would go maybe somewhere around here, maybe? He'd be the top defender of the ones that are on the list currently. I don't think he's really a bench. I understand people were a little bit worried about his minutes. Clicker says it's too long. Don't need Palmer, Son, Saka. I completely agree. We can take off a lot of these players. We can take off all of these players at the top immediately. We can take off Morris. Who honestly owns Morris in April 2024? We can remove... Let's remove some more players. McAllister is just too differential. He's coming off. Who else is super differential? No one really has him. No one really has Maguire. Even Kivior could probably go. Probably doesn't deserve a place on the bench list. But he can stay. I think other than that, we're probably good. Mark says this bench list is lowering my IQ. How is Son and Palmer on there? I agree. But I was just taking requests. You know what? I need to stay true to the bench. I need to respect and honour the bench list for what it truly is. And that involves removing players who, quite frankly, do not deserve a place. Emily says Morris is the penalty taker for the town. True. He's also playing against Arsenal away from home. That's about it. If you like penalty takers, may I recommend Josh Brownhill at Burnley? Does he still take the penalties there? Okay, I'm not adding in any more. Like, Robotic is asking about Darwin. Are you asking about Darwin for the bench list or to bring him in? Like, it's crazy. Like, Darwin, most popular transfer in for the game week, and people are bringing him in and now saying, okay, I brought Darwin in. Should we bench him now? Why did you bring him in? If you're going to bench him, why did you bring him in? Crazy. Crazy. Let's leave the bench list there. We may revisit it later on in the stream, but I'm not adding any more players to it for now. We're going to have a solid 15-minute break. No more players on the bench list. We could talk about the bench list, but we cannot add any more players because we're getting a little bit silly. We're getting a little bit silly with it, which we don't want to do. You know what? There's probably going to be quite a few people who don't even realise it's deadline day today, which is quite crazy. I wonder how many people will actually end up forgetting the deadline. Scott says, thanks for removing players. Eyes were straining. Yeah, I know. It's difficult because I want to please people by including all of their players on the bench list. But by doing that, you just end up making it like a worse tool for the majority. Robotic says, I was just asking, sheesh. Asking what, though? Whether you should buy him or whether you should bench him? No more players are adding to the bench list. We have spoken. Los Hobbitos says, stop torturing Dan. I feel like I have been tortured. Mark says, what rank are you aiming for by the end, Dan? This season, for me, honestly, is probably just ended up becoming a bit of a write-off, really. Like, I'm not going to be able to achieve, like, a strong rank. Well, not a super strong rank. I mean, I think the top 100k, I think I could live with. Anything outside of the top 100k, and I'd be disappointed, really disappointed in myself, I think. Even though, look, it's a game of luck. There's only so much you can blame yourself. But I think at that kind of rank, I would probably be thinking, Dan, you spend your life, making FPL content. No amount of injuries and missed penalties or whatever other thing you can maybe account to luck should be able to, set me that far off. I know people, like, good managers have bad FPL ranks all the time. I'm not even saying I'm a good manager, but, good managers have bad ranks all the time, but I think it would pain me if I finished outside the top 100k, because I'd break my streak of top 100k finishes, which I wouldn't like. Although, to be honest, I would want more. Edward says the start of the season killed our ranks. I was really strong at the start of the season, but then I overinvested in Newcastle defenders. I got a lot of injuries, pretty much averaged one injury per week between like game week 15 and 25, or maybe even 15 and 30, to be honest. But also I've made a couple of dodgy decisions this year. My captains have consistently like, I was working this out. My vice captains have scored something like 100 more points than my captains have this season. It's absolutely crazy. Hitcham says your captains were bad this year. Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. My captains have just not been it this year. I've taken a lot of risky captain punts. Maybe too many risky captain punts. Not having Son recently has really, really killed me as well. Really killed me. Going for De Bruyne basically ended me as well. There's just so many like moments this season where like things have gone wrong, whether it was some by my own fault, some maybe out of my control. So like, it's just, captains in particular, I think really screwed me over at a certain point in the season. Taking risks here and there. Like one week I think I captained Watkins against maybe Luton and he scored 2 points, and everyone else was captain like Salah and Haaland. Ugh. But look, we learn. We go again next season. For now, we just try and see what we can do for the rest of the season. Have some fun with it. But it's rough. Remember when you took a punt on Ferguson? Yep, took a punt on Ferguson. That didn't play out. Took a punt on João Pedro. He got injured the week after. It's rough, man. Rough season. But it happens. That's FPL. Scott says, my favourite thing about FPL is when a good captain pick comes off. And that hasn't really happened this year. Same for me, man, honestly. Honestly, man. I love it. I love getting that sweet captaincy pick off. Kabalash says, Dan, good question. What was your best moments in FPL apart from when you came 243rd in the world? I think, like, it was only briefly mid-game week, but... And it was that season, really. Like, there was a period of time where it genuinely looked like there was a decent chance I could win FPL. But a couple of years ago now. Los Hobbitos says you took Johnson too. Yep, you brought in Johnson to differential. I thought I really liked the look of him. Took a punt on him for a few weeks. The moment I take him out of the team, he started scoring. Unbelievable. So many close calls, but hey, that's the game, right? Duncan says João Pedro is back, by the way. Yeah, man. I'm thinking bench boost stakes. So am I. I think I'm definitely going back in on João Pedro before the end of this season. Right, we've got a couple of super chats. Let's catch up on these. Mitchell says, already taken a -4. Maddison to Diaz for a -8. I don't think I would do that personally, Mitchell. I don't think that's really worth it. Maddison is a decent FPL pick. He's still a decent FPL pick. I don't think he's a player that must be sold. Like, if you're selling him for like a Salah, I understand it. If you're selling him for like a Saka or a Foden, I get it. But to Diaz seems a little bit you're not quite getting enough, I don't think. Particularly for a hit as well. And Veer says, sup Dan, Foden to Son/Saka, or should I do Haaland and Gordon to Saka and Darwin for a -4? No wildcard, all free hit. Yikes. I don't think I'd do any of that. Stick with Foden. No. Yeah, stick with Foden. I don't think you need to make any of those moves, particularly for hits. Stick with Foden. I don't think Foden is that much worse than a Son or a Saka. Really. Certainly Haaland going is not... You don't really want to... It's just, if you're selling Haaland for Salah, I kind of understand it. But just to sell Haaland just to get Darwin in your team is, I don't know, it's not worth it for me. And Daniel Lance in the chat says, really tempted by Haaland captain. Salah could come off early. That is wishful, Daniel. That is wishful. I do get it. Kabalash says, Dan, didn't you say Jota as a differential? And the one differential you didn't get, he got like 19 points. Yeah, again, it's like these kind of moments. I was this close to going for Jota. This close to going for him. I ended up bottling it. And that week he scored 19 points. It's like these kind of thin margins. Like, I feel like I really, really want to take responsibility and say, look, I could have done this differently. I should have done this differently. But it seems to be so many like of those tight calls, those 50-50s, things that, often balance out throughout the course of a season, haven't really balanced out this season for me. I don't know, man. I want to take responsibility, I really do, but at a certain point, there's certain things I definitely could have done better. But for a lot of them, it's just like, man, I could have gone either way. Because it was like, for me, it was like Foden versus Jota. I was like so close to getting Jota, and then I decided at the end, what if Jota gets rotated? Something like that. And I didn't go for him. 19 points dropped. Crazy. Crazy stuff, but what can we do? Just got to do our best. Just got to do our best for the rest of the season, and we'll go again next season, and perhaps next season, things will go a little differently. You never know. It could be on the right side of luck, which would be very, very nice. Could be very, very nice indeed. Super chat from Kagagello says, Watkins and Bowen to Darwin and Saka for a hit. Free hit 34. No. No, not if you're free hitting in 34. If you're free hitting in 34, you do Watkins to Isak. And you potentially hold on to Bowen and don't have a hit at all. Yeah, Darwin and Saka are really players that you desperately try and get in your team if you don't have a free hit in 34. They're still like reasonably good picks, don't get me wrong. I mean, not reasonably good. They're still very good picks, but they're not must-haves in the same way as they would be must-haves if you're free hitting in 34. Supercoach Deji says, you missed my super chat. Region or Zabani. I didn't miss your super chat, Supercoach Deji. There is no super chats from you. But nice try. Nice try. Always worth a go to try and bypass the super chat system. The thing is, if you just told the truth and didn't say you've super chatted me, if you just asked me simply Region or Zabani, a very good chance I might have answered that question. The bench list is probably going to help you out there, though, at the end of the day. Yeah, wait for the bench. We'll bring the bench list. Well, the bench list is on your screen, so yeah, there's an answer there anyway. Clicker says I can't even watch games this game week. All starts at 2:30 a.m. and later. Damn. That is the problem with the time zones. Ravjot, hello mate. Hope you're doing well. You ask Gusto or Castagna who to start. I'll probably just take the risk with Gusto and see what happens. Sid Vicious says free hit game week 34. -4 Salah, Isak, Palmer for Bowen, Bailey and Watkins. I think I like it. Yeah, I think I like it, Sid. Ryan says, I didn't super chat you. Thank you for your honesty, Ryan. I have wildcard 35 and free hit 34. Should I take a -4 for Darwin or just play Region or Bailey? Maybe take a -4 for Darwin. Or Isak. Stelios says, what's the team selection? Oh, show team Ganger early today. Show team Ganger early. Subash says Haaland or Isak to buy. If you can afford Haaland, I don't see why you wouldn't go for him. Supercoach Techi says, sorry, I copied and pasted from FPL Harry. He missed. Oh, no problem, Deji. No problem. I feel bad now. Actually, do I feel bad? You're cheating on me with FPL Harry. Cheating on me. But yeah, your answer, Deji, is incidentally, it is on the bench list. It was Region versus Zabani, right? And I think I've put Zabani higher than Region for this game week. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps answer your question there. Yannick says, is it really that bad going without Salah? Can do it, but not the best plan. I think it's crazy. I mean, like, look at the poll. I'm going to end that poll now. But 87% of our chat think Salah is the best captain of the game week. That's crazy. AJ says, hi Dan, Tavernier, Region or Porro first on the bench. I guess just back the attacker, go with Tavernier. Nicole says, hi Dan, 59 points in the week. No transfer this week. Onana, Bradley, Porro, Gabriel, Salah, Son, Palmer, Foden, Haaland, Muniz, Darwin. Doing a lot better now. Nice. Nicole, you know what, man? I'm so glad to hear you're doing better now. Good man. Good man. Now go out and smash the rest of the FPL season as well for all of us. But good to hear you're doing well, my friend. Really, really happy to see that. Really happy. You have been in my thoughts. Right. What else we got here? Arc thoughts. Is KSI watching too? Who knows? Maybe. Cesar says, I left for 45 minutes and she's still on. Came for some info. Cesar, I mean, you can't hear what I'm saying right now, Cesar, but I'm guessing what you mean is that my wife was maybe on stream a while ago, but she left like, how long ago? She left 40 minutes ago. She's not here anymore. And I think you may have accidentally paused your stream. So it looks like when you've come back that she's still there, but actually you are way behind on the stream. And hopefully you will realise this very shortly. Oh dear. All right, Daniel says, I feel like I'm too heavily invested in Spurs. Surely they're going to do their usual crumble. I mean, they almost did last game week. Sue says, Erdegaard, Rice or Havertz for Gordon for a -4. I mean, Erdegaard seems like the safest choice. Seems like the safest choice. Mikhail, you're absolutely welcome, my friend. Mark says, who do you think is going to win the title this season? I'm going to say Arsenal, but that's completely biased. Duncan says, should I play Gusto? He's one bench at the moment. It depends who else you have, really. I would be very tempted to just try start Gusto and see what happens. Ravjot says, Darwin or Saka as captain, no Salah. Yikes, yikes. Have you got Haaland? Haaland, maybe you could just do him. FC FPL in Ethiopia says, hey Dan, would you start Mateta or Solanke? I think I'd back Solanke. Better form. Matrix says, add Palmer to the bench list, please. No, Matrix, you are going to play Palmer, my friend. Kavalash says, Dan, do you have anyone playing today? And if you do, how many? I've got 3 playing today. Hardly anything, really, in the scale of things. I've got Solanke, Zabani, and Ait-Nouri. So 2 defenders today for me and Solanke. So probably going to be a red arrow for me today. And then we'll probably, tomorrow, the red arrow hopefully turns into a nice green. A nice, solid green. Ben says, if you could only stick with one goalkeeper for the rest of the season, who do you think would be optimal? Petrovic, because he plays the most fixtures of anyone else this season, for the rest of the season. No updates on Gusto, my friend. No, I don't think we're going to get any updates on Gusto, to be fair. Scott says, one goalkeeper for the rest of the season, Raya. That's not a bad shout either, to be fair. Not a bad shout. Andrew says, McAllister or Solanke for the bench. Both of those players are on the bench list. Solanke is our guy who I would be starting. Start Gusto Wan-Bissaka off. Honestly, if you have Gusto, give him a go. Give him a go. Start him. See what happens. Aditya, I would go for Isak. Kabalash asked me about team news. Let's see what we've got. We are getting close to the deadline. We should potentially be starting to get some team news now. Let's see. Any worries of Salah rotation? No. No concerns, really. No team leaks. Yeah. No team leaks. Sorry, chaps. But we'll keep an eye on it, see if we get anything closer to the deadline. My questions are getting so boring. Like, talking about which 4.4 million defender to start. Flip a coin, man. Flip a coin at that stage. Triple Arsenal without Saka is certainly contrarian. Yeah, for sure. Cesar says, Dan, thanks to Jan, just realised the stream was paused on your wife. I feel so dumb. I knew it. Cesar, I don't know if you were watching, but I read your message when you said, I can't believe she's still here. I read your message out and I was like, yeah, this guy has definitely paused the stream and doesn't realise that she left 45 minutes ago. Linus says, already thinking about next week. Maddison to Foden, or should I bring in a doubler for 34? Foden's nicer in the short term, I think. Is Bradley a better option than Ait-Nouri? Bradley's a better option this game week. But I think Bradley is going to start becoming a minutes risk within the next couple of weeks. He is on borrowed time as an FPL asset. He really is. We'll see. Ben says, do you think next season you and the other big FPL people will do more on the challenge mode? I don't think so. I think it's actually going to go backwards rather than forwards. We'll talk after the deadline. We'll talk a little bit more about FPL challenge because there's been more drama around this game mode. I can't wait to share it with you. Right. Anyway. I think we're mostly good on the bench list. Hopefully that's going to answer most questions. Salah for -8, says Nicola. Ideally not. Ideally not. Unless you really are just desperate to keep all of your big hitters. Foden's for the bench list. Isn't he on there? Foden is already on the bench list. I think. Edward says, who do you think will be the highest scoring player by the end of the season, points-wise? You gotta have some faith in Salah, really, don't you? I mean, let's have a look. Isn't Watkins at the top at the moment? Let's see here. So Watkins is at the top at the moment, followed by Saka, Son, Salah. Son's going to blank in game week. Well, Salah potentially goes top by game week 34, and then maybe Son makes a late charge at the end. Could genuinely be Son. But you'd have to really strongly consider Salah. One thing that's interesting is it doesn't look like Haaland is going to be a top scoring player this season. And maybe it's because he did miss that. How many games? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But is that really an excuse? Salah's missed more than 5 games this season. Hasn't he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then like a couple of bench appearances too. Who else? Son, how many games has he missed? 3. Still not really. It's not really an excuse. I think Haaland, for that price, you should be the top scoring player in the game. He's just not quite been that. We've got a lot of good fixtures left. He's got double game week as well in 37. Haaland could claw this back to be the highest scoring. We'll see. George says, transfer out Son for Saka now or roll the transfer. No free hit and planning to bring Saka in anyway for bench boost 34. No, I would roll the transfer. I don't think you need to make Son to Saka. I don't even think that improves your team necessarily. I think Son has got just as much chance of scoring as many points as Saka this game week. You know, a lot of people would say that Son will score more points than Saka this game week. I don't know how much I agree with that, but there's not much between them. Really isn't. Is Cunha starting? Oh, I wish I knew, man. I wish I knew. Hopefully close to the deadline we'll find out some more clear information. We'll see what happens. We'll see what we find. Let's get the bench list back on screen. For a little while. 15 minutes till deadline, guys. Not too long. Not too long. Is everyone pretty much locked in? Linus says, just done goalkeeper transfer. Thanks to Mrs. FPL Mate. Was tempted by Vertberg, but bought in David Martin. Nice one. Bowen out for Son, -8. No, I don't think so. To be fair, like Son could start scoring slightly less now because if Richarlison comes back in, that could impact things a little. Taylor says, hey Dan, start Bowen or bring Darwin in for Ollie. I don't see a problem with bringing in Darwin for Ollie Watkins. He's not going to play anyway. So you get yourself an extra player. Another player for game week 34 as well. You may as well. If you got Watkins, I think he's a pretty straightforward sell. You probably sell him for one of Isak or Darwin, unless money is an issue. Then you potentially drop down to a Cunha or a Mateta. Gio Sanabria says, Son out for Salah and Watkins out for Cunha. I don't love it, but I mean, Watkins to Cunha works. Son for Salah, it's always troublesome when you are removing Son. But, I mean, come on, Salah against Sheffield United, you're probably going to captain him as well. It's got to be done, hasn't it? Yeah, I think I'd do it, Gio. I think I'd go for it. Yeah. Kablash, no, I do not play Super 6. Oh, actually, to be fair, no. I have played Super 6 before, but I haven't played it recently. Mohammed says, who's the captain? The captain... Captain is Captain Obvious. The captain is Captain Obvious this week. I'm not. This week is a week I will not go differential. We'll save that for later on. If we're like nowhere near top 100k, like in a few game weeks time, then maybe we reconsider the crazy captains. Like I think, like maybe game week 37, going for Son as a captain instead of Haaland in 37 is something that's really tempting me as a differential. That will be like my last big, crazy move, I guess. Here for FPL says, need to bench Muniz or Richarlison, 50-50 right now. I think I would back Muniz because there is still a chance that Richarlison is not quite ready to start, or at least not quite ready to play 90 minutes. So I would be. I know I've put Richarlison higher on the bench. No, I haven't put Richarlison higher on the bench. I know they're close on the bench list, but Muniz has just been in amazing form. Richarlison, even if he is back, is he going to be at 100%? Is he going to be able to play 90 minutes? These are the kind of questions we need to answer. I think I would bench Richarlison. Cunha News, we will keep our eyes and ears peeled. Sloan says, Dan the man, always love your content and jovial nature. Well, thank you very much. Would you start Gusto over Zabani? Would I start Gusto over Zabani? I mean, I've got them both on the bench list. I have put Zabani higher. It is tight. It is tight. The thing is, though, like, with Gusto, I feel like he either starts or he doesn't. Is it like he realistically going to be the kind of player who, if he's injured, he's injured. He's not going to be coming off the bench, is he, for like a one-pointer? I don't think. Super chat from Yanis says, already did Watkins to Muniz as I'm starting to free up. To bring Haaland back in. Okay. Should I do Moreno to Aït-Nouri for a -4 now or wait 1 to 2 weeks? If you find that you have to play Moreno this week, then I would be tempted to take that punt and do the -4 now. But if you've got someone else you can play instead of Moreno, I would potentially do that instead. But Aït-Nouri, really like him for a pick this week. I think he's going to be one of those players who everyone is going to want by game week 34 anyway. Even if you're on a free hit, you're probably going to want to have Aït-Nouri in your game week 34 team. He's going to be super, super popular. So, yeah, getting ahead of the crowd a little bit there could be a good idea. Blicky94 says, hi, Dan. On free hit 34, Muniz Semenyo with Fulham's fixtures turning. Muniz, like transferring Semenyo out for Muniz. Well, if you're free hitting in 34, you may as well. I wouldn't bring Semenyo in for Muniz, but I would bring in Muniz for Semenyo potentially. I like Muniz is a great pick. We know by now. We know by now Muniz is a great pick. Andrea says, cheers, Dan. Your biggest fan from Croatia over here. Oh, nice one, man. 30k rank. Would you sell a doggy to Gabriel? If you are not free hitting in 34, then yes, I would. Then yes, I would do that. Zabani or Porro? I still think I'd go Zabani. Even if it is a double up, I don't think I'd have that much of a problem. Linus says, who is the most nailed Chelsea defender? Pretty much no such thing. Yeah, it's difficult. Gusto, when fit, is probably nailed on. Mr. Ebenezer says, Dan, please add Ortega to the list. Nah, he's too differential, man. He's too differential. I mean, you probably do start him, but... No, hardly anyone has him. We can't be filling up the bench list with players who are too differential. It just makes things more complicated. Omar, when we have leaks, you will be the first to know, my friend. Masood says, Dan, do you think Neto will get a knock? Purely because of his form, I think. Oh, what, you mean like him potentially get dropped? I think there is a chance. I think there's a chance. I think it's more than likely that Neto will just go on to play every game for the rest of the season, but I think there is a small chance that Neto could... You know, I think Iraola, the manager, said previously that, you know, every position is up for grabs. Those weren't the exact words, but he says something, no one's undroppable. You know, anyone could be replaced at any moment, kind of thing, which worries me a little bit, given that Neto has made a couple of mistakes. That maybe Travers, backup goalkeeper at Bournemouth, maybe he comes in. CFC Ethan, we've already done a captaincy poll. It was 87% Salah, the biggest waste of time. It was all about Salah. I think that's probably one of the highest we've seen on our captaincy polls. Crazy. 9 minutes till deadline, guys. Kurtan says, Aït-Nouri or Kibior for a -4. Depends who you're removing. I'd rather go for Nori though. Sam says contemplating Rice or Havertz in for a hit and getting rid of Gordon. I think Havertz, given his form, is definitely worth a look at. I mean, Rice is not too bad either for his price. Rice for his price, but I think if you're going for Arsenal players, I think you want to maximise really the potential there. And Havertz, I think, has a higher ceiling, higher potential than a Rice. So you would probably be more tempted to go there. Still no leaks. Wesley says start Jackson or Odegaard. I would go for Odegaard this game week against Luton. Think he could cook. Think Odegaard can cook this week. Ahmed says who's the best defenders to get? I'm on a wild card with no free hit. Ooh, okay. Gabriel, Van Dijk, Ben White, Nori. Running out of answers already. Gusto, but he might not even play. A doggy for future game weeks, I guess. It's tough. Something like that, maybe. Those kind of players. You want Arsenal, really. If I'm on a wild card right now, I take double Arsenal defence. Whether that's Gabriel and Raya or Gabriel and another defender, I don't know. But I definitely, I say definitely, I would probably be on double Arsenal defence for a wild card, at least. Because I think you can just hold Arsenal defenders every single game week for the rest of the season. And they're always going to be very useful to you. And a set and forget defenders. Fintax says start Sarabia or Foden. I would start Foden. Come on, Foden's been unreal this season. It's got to be done. It's got to be done. Right, any more information on a Wolverhampton Wanderers team? What time do Wolves kick off, actually? Because they might... It might be difficult, actually, because they might play quite late. Yeah, they play 15 minutes later. It'll be difficult. Spurs team news is going to be really difficult. Akshan says Foden, Watkins, and Ake to Salah, Aït-Nouri, and Cunha. 2 Wolves players too much. I don't think so. I like them. Yeah, Akshan, I like those moves, generally speaking. Sam says Raya in for a hit, replacing Areola. Worth it. If you don't have any other goalkeepers, then sure. Masood says FPL challenge team after deadline, Dan. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll do it quickly. I can't really be bothered to play FPL challenge properly, but we'll give it a go. Gusto or Bradley? I'd probably still prefer Gusto. Probably. Francisco says Watkins and Darwin for a -4 or just play Haaland and Muniz. I have no free hit and no wild card. And what about Bradley? Worth a transfer next week? I don't think Bradley is really worth a transfer. I think after this game week, Bradley is going to be, you know, very much super rotation risk. If he even gets any game time after the next couple of weeks. Like, you've got Haaland and Muniz. I don't think you need Darwin. If you're taking a -4 just to create yourself a benching headache, it doesn't really seem worth it. Personally. Alex also asking, put goalkeeper Ortega on the list. Or is this the same person? You know what? Fine. Ortega can go like here. Or would he go... Nah, he would go like here. There you go. The best man in the FPL business. Oh, thank you very much, my friend. Sultan says, who do I captain? Haaland, Isak, or Solanke? Oh, out of those three, definitely Haaland. Definitely Haaland. Yanis says, is Taylor nailed on for Burnley? I would say so. Yep, I would say so. Kabalash says, what's the most points you've ever got from your triple captain? Oh my God, we'll be going back a little while. Well, Salah. A couple of... Was it Salah last season? Where he got like 27 points. Triple to something crazy. Was it 24 points? It was somewhere in the mid-20s for points. And then triple to like 75-ish points. Something like that. It was pretty crazy. I can't remember if that was last season or the season before, though. I can't remember now. Oh, no, last season did I triple captain Rashford, I think, actually. Last season. I can't remember. That was pretty decent points. I think it was like 18 points. Something like that. Something similar. Right. Palmer. People asking about Palmer. What are we asking about Palmer? Palmer, you start him. There's no way you bench Palmer. There's no way. Is Aitnor starting? I wish I knew, man. I wish I knew. It doesn't look like we're going to get leaks before the deadline now. It's difficult because of when Wolves play. There's not really any Wolves leakers out there. But I would imagine that he does. I would imagine he does start. Last season with Rashford, yeah, I thought so. -4 for Kelleher or play Dubravka? I would just play Dubravka. Yeah, doesn't seem worth it. You're gonna want to. You'll probably sell Kelleher back for Dubravka within a couple of weeks anyway, so it doesn't really seem worth it. Do you want Richarlison news? I wish I could help you. Yeah, Richarlison doesn't even play till 8 p.m. 2 hours from now, UK time. Do you not consider Chelsea's terrible record against United? No, not particularly. Not particularly. Leno in goal. Yeah, sure, if you want to. Could be worse. Could be worse this game week. Start Wissa or Gusto. Back the attacker. Go Wissa. Duncan says it was 2 seasons ago. Salah got 27, triple to 81. I did it as well. There you go. There's your answer. Triple captain Salah, 27 points, triple to 81. How crazy is that? That is nuts. Absolutely nuts. Oh dear. Hey Dan, captain Darwin or Son? I mean, Darwin is. I don't hate Darwin as a punt. If you really, really want to punt it, I don't hate Darwin. Would I do it personally? No. I would captain Salah. If you have Salah, I really think you should captain Salah this week. If you're not captain Salah, I would really prefer to captain Haaland than pretty much anyone else. But I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. The Saka start? Oh, who knows, man. I think so. I personally think so. But nothing's guaranteed. Like, Arteta is such a mind game player. We need to throw our team on screen, by the way. It's exactly what I said. I don't know if any of you guys watched my video from earlier, but it's literally exactly the same. Just do a quick refresh to make sure nothing's changed or anything. Zip zap zoo. Yes. Yeah, we're good. Edward, I'm not captaining Darwin. I'm sorry, my friend. It's not happening. It's just not happening. There we go. We're locked in, guys. We're locked in for the deadline. I'm genuinely really happy with my team this week. I think we're good. No news on Trippier, unfortunately, Cena. And there we have it. The deadline has passed. Fantastic. Ready to go. You know what? I am feeling a green arrow this week. I'm manifesting it. I'm manifesting the green arrow. It's going to happen. It needs to happen. Now, last time I was around 300k, I halved my rank the following game week to like 150k or something. Can we do it again? Maybe. Maybe we can. Maybe we can, maybe we can't. Who knows? Right. So there we go. There's my team. Let's move on. Let's do Fantasy Challenge. And then we're going to disappear because we have been streaming for over 2 hours now. And I'm sure you guys are bored of me by now. Right. Let's do this week, whereby we get to pick forward to score lots of points. Okay. Should we talk about this first of all? let's talk about this first of all. So, have you guys noticed that when the official FPL social media accounts posted the score of the winner for Game Week 30, when they posted the score for Game Week 30, well, what's missing from this image? What is missing from this image of the Game Week 30 winner for FPL Challenge? Can anyone get it in the chat? Scott also says almost 500 likes. Are we actually close to 500 likes? Yeah, we are. 11 more likes. Yeah, guys, I mean, I know a few of you will probably disappear now because, you know, the deadline's passed. If you wouldn't mind leaving a like before you go, that would be amazing. Or stick around. We'll do a little bit of challenge talk or just a bit of general chat. And then we will go off. But yeah, still appreciate it all. Right, going back to this. So, the captain is wrong. Okay, yep, you've got one thing. The captain has been subbed off. Yep. And there is no bench either. The captain and the bench are missing. Do you guys know why the captain and the bench are missing? Jamie Sub says Orion. No. Far more sinister than that. Have you noticed that pretty much all of the players that you see on screen played on the Saturday? The whole of the bench, the whole of the defense and goalkeeper played Saturday evening. The reason why there's so many weird things about this team is because this person won the FPL challenge for the week because they used the it's not a glitch, it's like workaround is the right. They used this loophole, and we spoke a little bit about the loophole. A loophole of FPL challenge that basically was just this loophole that basically allowed you to essentially have, well, kind of like two teams in one in a way. There is a loophole, and I'll show you how the loophole works in just one moment, because, you know, I think this game is so washed that we may as well just share it, and then the sooner we share it, the sooner everyone knows about this loophole, the sooner FPL will actually fix this issue. But there's a loophole that allows you to basically make 4 transfers after already knowing the scores of the players, which I'll show you in a minute. But this person used that loophole. They used that glitch. They used that loophole. And that's why you can't see their bench. You can't see their first captain. The captain's been auto-subbed off. Because what this person has done is they've put 4 players on their bench, including captain, who they knew were not going to play. They have, I don't know exactly what they have on there. Can we actually go find it on the, can we go find like the number 1 from last week and have a look at it? Is it this? Yeah, there you go. They used this glitch where they included Hee-chan and Awaniyi in their team, knowing for a fact that they would not play, so that they can make in-play transfers and in-play substitutions after the fact. That's what they've done. And FPL, because they thought, oh crap, people have found an exploit, and now the winner of the game week has used that exploit, they have hidden the fact that this person has this bench and has the captain on a player who they know that won't play because of this exploit. Now, let me show you how this exploit actually works. Let me show you how it works. We're going to do it like as if it's my team for this game week. We'll just pick a team fairly quickly, just for the sake of this game. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick 4 players who I know will not play this game week. We're going to go for a Gordon. We know he's not going to play. We'll pick a goalkeeper we know he's not going to play. Areola, we know he's not going to play. We'll pick a defender. let's say, like Trent Alexander-Arnold. We know he's a bit expensive. Maybe we want to save a little bit of budget. Or let's just go like last page and just find someone like random who's out on loan or something. Like, okay, let's Sessegnon. I'm going to go Sessegnon. I'm going to go, let's pick a forward. And no, they have not fixed this glitch. We'll pick a forward who we know is not going to play. If we can find someone who's been loaned out, ideally. There we go, Jefferson. And then what we'll pick after that is we're going to pick a bunch of players who play earlier on in the game week. So let's have a look at the fixtures here. So we'll pick from Tuesday and Wednesday. Oh, they have to play players from the later games. Oh yeah, good point. I didn't even look. So let's just pick a bunch of Sheffield United players, basically. Let's go. Yeah, sorry, I forgot about that a little bit, but you're right. So let's pick a bunch of... Oh, can I just go Sheffield United players? I want to order by, like, bad. So Sheffield United, they played the last game of the game. Actually, no, technically... Right, we need Chelsea and Man United players. Really. Okay, let's find Chelsea players. Let's go someone who doesn't play for them anymore or something. Or definitely not going to play. Let's go for Lavia as our midfielder. Let's remove you. Let's go for, again, Chelsea versus Man United. So we'll go Martial. Here we go. You're going to see what I mean in very, very shortly. Yeah, they do need to be from later games. I do apologise for that. Man United defenders. Malacia is definitely not playing, is he? Okay, Malacia, and we'll pick a goalkeeper. Man United's backup goalkeeper or something. Just go Manchester United. Me. Okay. So we all agree these 4 players are definitely not going to play. Now we're going to pick some players from the earlier games that we think will do well. So let's go Isak. Let's go for like all in on a defense that we think could potentially keep a clean sheet. So let's say Arsenal versus Luton. We could just go for like a whole bunch of Arsenal defenders. We'll go Raya. We'll go Gabriel. We'll go Saliba. There we go. Triple Arsenal defence there. We'll go for another defender that we might like the look of. In fact, we'll just keep it. Should we go for one more Arsenal? No, actually, no, we won't go for one more Arsenal. Let's go for like someone else from an earlier fixture, like Man City potentially. We need to go all in really because it's an all or nothing kind of strategy. Let's go for Aït-Nouri. Go for Aït-Nouri. We haven't quite got all our defenders. We need one more defender. Screw it, go Guardiola. Okay. Then we'll go for midfielders. Just go all in on Arsenal and Spurs, maybe. We'll go all in on Arsenal and Spurs. We'll go a bit differential this game week. Let's go Jesus. And let's go let's go for another Arsenal. We've got one more Arsenal pick. Go for someone different. We'll go Odegaard. And then we'll finish the rest with some Spurs. We'll go Son. And we'll go Richarlison. 550 likes. Oh, nice, guys. Nice. And let's finish off with someone else who's playing on Tuesday or Wednesday who could do pretty well. Let's say, Bowen? Harvey Barnes? Let's go Bowen. Okay. So, we'll save the team. We'll save the team. We'll put on our players who, well, we're going to leave on all of our definitely not going to play players. We're going to captain one of the definitely not going to play players. We're going to captain Lavia. Ready to potentially transfer him out. We will start Nori, and we'll start Guardio, and we'll start we might leave Bowen on the bench. Should we leave Bowen on the bench? Okay. Now, do we leave Bowen on the bench? I don't know. Okay, well, we'll just do... Okay, so we'll do it like this, for example. And save that team. So, this is where the workaround starts coming into play. I don't know if anyone else has spoken about this on stream or not before, but what you can see, guys, is that we've got 4 players in my team who are definitely not going to start. Me, Malacia, Lavia, and Martial. Definitely not going to start. So what the person who won last game week, and what a lot of people are doing, this kind of glitch, workaround, cheats basically, is what we do is we wait until... In fact, let's just do it this way. We'll do it this way. We'll put all Arsenal players on the bench. Now, if Arsenal keep a clean sheet, I know I'm going to get points from Raya, Gabriel, and Saliba. We're really going to swap. Let's swap Saliba for White, actually. And White. And if Arsenal keep a clean sheet, maybe they score a few goals. Maybe Jesus does really well as well. If Arsenal do really, really, really well, what I'll do is I will simply make no changes to my team. And that way, Raya, Gabriel, White, and Jesus will automatically be substituted on. They'll be automatically subbed on for me, Malacia, Lavia, and Martial. I will get all of my Arsenal points. Amazing. If Arsenal concede, and then therefore Raya, Gabriel, and White don't keep clean sheets, well, that's no problem. What I'll do is, all of me, Malacia, Lavia, Martial, I can make in-play transfers. These players haven't had their fixtures yet. I can just transfer them out. And I'll transfer in Kelleher. I'll transfer in Salah. I'll transfer in Van Dijk. I'll transfer in Darwin. And we'll get a second roll of the dice with a brand new 4 players that can come in. So, very simply, you leave all of your Arsenal players on the bench, all of the players who might potentially keep a clean sheet, leave them all on the bench. If they do keep a clean sheet and you get loads of points from them, well, you just let them auto-sub on. If they concede goals, they don't score so well, it all goes wrong, well, you make transfers to your definitely not going to play players. And you've cracked it. You have used the code. You have used the workaround. You have used the cheat that allows you to play this game in a way that is unnecessarily complicated. It really is very complicated. And I think this is the whole problem with this game mode. It's being marketed as this easy, kind of easy to play, to pick up kind of game. Well, actually, the only way you are going to win this game, because so many people know about this workaround, this glitch, this cheat, so many people know about this already, the only way you're ever going to win, or do even slightly well, to even get in the top 5-10%, the only way you're going to do that is by using this glitch. Andrew says, you realise strikers score double this week. Yeah, this is just an example team. This is just an example team. In reality, you probably would just, You probably wouldn't have Martial. You maybe swap out, one of the midfielders and do it something like that. Yeah. Emily says it's too much work to cheat. Yeah, hell yeah. It requires so much micromanagement. It requires so much thinking and working things out and stuff like that. That it's not. If that's the only way to win is by putting all of that effort in for a free-to-play mini game, well then whatever. There's no point in playing. You either go all in and have a chance of winning and spend a ridiculous amount of time doing it, or you just don't bother, because you know that people who are using these tactics and are spending hours and hours working everything out, they are going to succeed. Will it work without unlimited budget though? I don't see why not. I've made this team. It's got like 7 million in the bank. It's got 6.1 million in the bank. I've not even tried to think about it particularly. You swap out Son and Ødegaard for someone else to free up even more money. There's loads of ways you can go even cheaper here. Martial is not even the cheapest forward at 6.4 million. You'd have to be seriously on it to make it worth without unlimited budget. Well, you're right. Olivia says you're massively overestimating the advantage that this exploit gives. No, I'm not. It works, particularly when you're looking for clean sheets. If you go all in on clean sheets, then yeah. I think I've maybe not given the perfect example of a team. I was just trying to do it quickly. If I wanted to do this properly, I could spend the next hour and work it out perfectly and make it perfect. But maybe I do, because everyone's just saying, a few people are saying, well, actually, it actually wouldn't quite work out that way because of the special rules this game week. Yeah, no, I get it. I was just trying to do a rough kind of guide on how the cheat works. I'm not trying to build the perfect team. I'm not trying to give you that team. If you want to go away, use the information I've given you and build that perfect team and use this exploit to its full advantage and win FPL Challenge. You want to spend all that time doing that, you crack on. I can't be bothered personally. The integrity with this game mode is pretty much gone at this point. There's a hell of a lot of hardcore managers out there, and they will make up the entirety of the top 5% of this game mode every week, and they'll do that by using this exploit. Every single week. They will keep doing it. Because why not? The exploit has... Well, Kabalash, you're right. This exploit has ruined the game. Exactly. And that's why we're in beta testing. That's why we're in this mode where they're essentially testing things out. And if this happens again next game week, if this happens again in Game Week 31 where someone uses the bench exploit all over again, then we have to start accepting that this exploit is too overpowered. It will take over the game. I mean, people knew about this. People were talking about this before Game Week 30 even kicked off. People were talking about the exploit and how it's going to revolutionize this game before it even started. And now the game week has passed, and we have now got the proof. If we go through the table of the top managers from the game week, I imagine most people did the exact same thing. Let's see. So let's have a look at number 2. Yep, they definitely did the exploit with Martial, because why else would you pick Martial? Yep, this person did the exploit with Alexander-Arnold, you would imagine. This person, don't particularly know. Maybe that didn't happen, or maybe they used the exploit still, but actually used their transfers rather than doing it. Can you see what transfers people made throughout the match day? No, you can't. But we'll try and find if we can see if anyone else very obviously used it, because of course it's not going to be always immediately obvious. Someone there, McGinn, obviously a player who doesn't even have a fixture. Diogo Jota, another player who doesn't have a fixture, which suggests that people have been using this and just replacing the odd players. Nothing there. McGinn there. Nothing. Anything here? No. Chilwell. Maybe that's just a coincidence. To be fair, these scores are a little bit lower now, aren't they? Yeah. There's a lot of people. Scott says it's not that time consuming. All right, fine. If it's not that time consuming, let's see if we can do it quickly now, because it is. So let's. I don't even know. Should we? Can we try and do something like what actually would my team look like? Because I don't think it's simple to work this out. Scott says, to be honest, it's not that time consuming. Just put your players who play first on your bench, and if they do well, transfer some of your starters out. What did I say? Scott says it does help that there is a budget. Yeah, I mean it helps a bit, but I mean, come on, it's still it's still like easy mode, isn't it? So what I would actually do in this would be to probably remove. I'd probably remove one more defender. So let's remove Guardiol and replace him with too many players from Arsenal. Okay. In that case, should we remove Jesus? Actually, do we want that many Arsenal defenders? No, if they're not going to keep a clean sheet, we don't want that many Arsenal defenders. So we'll transfer you out for someone. Let's put him. Should we just put in Bradley? Where are you, Bradders? Just search. So we'll just say we'll play Bradley no matter what. And if Arsenal keep a clean sheet, then we throw them all in. And then we'll remove you. Oh, wait, no. What am I doing? Right, no. Daniel, you're doing this all wrong. We need another player who's definitely not going to play from, like, Man United. Or Chelsea. Let's find a Chelsea defender. Chelsea defender who's not going to play. You will do Fofana. Where's he, Fofana? You've been injured forever. And then we'll replace Martial with a forward who could do pretty well this week. Can I afford Haaland? Not quite. Maybe I can if I move things around a little bit. Let's do that, and we'll replace Ødegaard with Kai Havertz. Budget exceeded still. Oh, we're minus 0.1. Okay, how are we going to do this then? Right. Because we do need to free up a little bit of money. I think Son actually is a pretty obvious player to remove. For the budget he is. Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer, to be fair, is probably the player I'd bring in for Lavia. Would I want him anyway? Okay, we need an early game player. Really. So, let's go. Newcastle, Bournemouth. No, not anyone I want from Bournemouth, really. I want Bowen. Can I afford Bowen? I don't think I can. Rice, I have too many of those players already. Kudus. Oh, that could be interesting, actually. Yeah. All right. So we have. Yeah, we have that sorted. No. No Liverpool would be fun. Who's the one player who I think I would want to bench? Probably is. Let's switch you out here, and let's switch you out to here. Or do you go? I think doubling up on the defenders if you're going to use this glitch is probably definitely the way to go. Would I actually go for Isak as well? I don't know. Can we go a little bit more differential? I mean, what you may as well have some fun on this game mode if you're going to do it. You may as well go a little crazy with it. Let's go. Who's like a fun kind of forward to go for this game week? A little bit different. Cunha. Saves a bit of money as well. And then we'll have the vice captain on. We'll go vice captain Havertz. That could be fun. Ideally, your whole bench plays today, so you're left with more options if you make changes. Yeah, I know, but I think the Arsenal defence, if I'm going all in on the defence, I think Arsenal are probably the way I want to go. But you are right. Okay. So if we do this, and then we wouldn't be able to afford Salah, but we could definitely make moves for the likes of, like, Palmer. We could bring in Palmer. And then a couple of defenders. Again, this probably is not optimal, but I don't really want to play it optimally. I'll probably make a few changes after we go off stream as well. I think, if you want your best chance of winning, then you need to go a little bit different on this game mode. But, okay. Something like this, I think, potentially works. And if Arsenal keep a clean sheet, I don't make any transfers other than maybe Lavia. So if Arsenal keep a clean sheet, I don't make any transfers other than Lavia. Assuming Kudus blanks, I will remove. If Kudus blanks, I'll remove Lavia. If Kudus does well, I'll remove Lavia and replace him with like Luis Diaz or someone like that. Also, captain thing isn't really worth it this week because you want to captain one of the forwards. Good point. Good point, because it's double points, isn't it? Yeah. Captain 1 isn't really worth it this week. You are right. Unless Jesus like blanks, for example. Surely Erling Haaland is possibly the one though, isn't he? We'll do that. And then if Haaland blanks, you maybe at that point have a go on like a Cole Palmer or a Luis Diaz or something like that. What if Liverpool and Arsenal both win 6-0 though? You miss out on Liverpool players? Yeah, true. Yeah, absolutely. There's no guarantees in FPL, is there? Like, if this, if that. You never know what's going to happen. This particular tactic, I've just decided to pretty much say only one of them will do well, I guess. If Arsenal do poorly, or if Arsenal just concede one goal, then I'll just switch Malacia, Fofana, and Lavia out for three Liverpool players. And me, maybe even for a Liverpool goalkeeper as well. Take another run at it. Yeah, but then if you're not captaining a forward, if you do the forward switch, well, yeah, but you can only captain one player if you do it normally, right? At least with this method. Or are you... Yeah, I think I kind of get what you're saying, but it doesn't really make sense because you either captain a forward or you vice captain a forward anyway. Or are you saying just captain Haaland and just be done with it? Because then, actually, to be fair, that would lock me out of the Lavia switch. Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, sorry, that's my bad. All right, in that case, yeah, this week for the forwards, it doesn't really work. But next week we'll be back again, I imagine. Let's go like this. Cool. I imagine this is fairly unique. For a team, we've gone all over the place with players. We'll, I'll probably make a couple of changes up until deadline. We've got team news as well, but only for a couple of the teams. Let's have a look. Let's see what we got. Everyone will captain Haaland. True. In that case, shall I just go Jesus instead? thing is, I don't actually really want to captain Jesus. Ugh. Okay. Let's go and see what's up over here. Let's see the team news. Right, for Fulham, well, Castagne's been benched. That's about the only interesting thing there. I know a few people have him. For Forest, can't really see anything too interesting going there. Alanga's back in the starting 11. For Everton, Mikalenko's back in the starting 11. And that's about as far as the interesting information goes. Emily says Captain Cunha. Nah. We'll just Captain Haaland. Newcastle. So Dubravka starts. There's no Trippier again. No Livramento either, even on the bench. Interesting. That bench is not looking too hot. That defense is not looking great. That is problematic, isn't it? No Gordon, of course. Oh, man. Newcastle are really, 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 really delving deep into their squad, aren't they? Oh, well. Here's what it is. Is it worth waiting for the Wolves team news? I don't know if I can be bothered. We've got another 10 minutes, haven't we, for it? Unless anyone's leaked it early. Has anyone leaked it? Let's find out. Let's just search Cunha. And go latest. Oh, now we've just got a whole bunch of random people who happen to be called Cunha. Okay. Cunha is trending, apparently. Wow, how about that? Okay, any information about Cunha? Nothing solid. Wesley says, Anderson starts. I've had him since game week 8. First time I pick him and he's starting. Fair play, man. Fair play. Off core, yes, you have missed the deadline, my friend. Hopefully you did a bust team at least. Okay, what about Aït-Nouri? No one's leaked. No one's leaked. Come on, guys. Someone's got a leak. Someone has got a leak. Oh, I don't know. Can we bother to wait, guys? Should we disappear? I think it's only 10 minutes, I suppose. I just hope Aït-Nouri's starting. Like, that's the big thing. He should do, though, realistically. I hope. Sam said I forgot to do my transfers. Oh, no, Sam. Sam, what have you done? What have you done, my friend? Livramento out for the season, apparently. Jeez, really? Ofco says, also, Dan, you've been smashing videos lately. Very appreciated. I'm glad to hear it, mate. No, I'm glad the effort is appreciated. It's always nice. It's always nice. Aït-Nouri will defo start. I hope you're right. I hope you are right. We'll see what happens. FPL Fran retweeted. What did he retweet? We do love Fran. Let's see what he's got for us. Okay, now that it's out there for tonight, Tina unfortunately out for the season. Holy moly. That's crazy. So, Hall? I guess we're on Hall now? there's no Livramento, if Dan Burn has to play at centre back, Lewis Hall has got to be the pick, right? 4.4 million. But I mean, come on, we are scraping the barrel a little bit with these Newcastle players. Man. Who do you think will be the best player this week? Salah's the obvious one, isn't he? He really is the obvious one. What did Newcastle do for training? MMA? Probably. Probably do. Come on, give us some early news. How long's Livramento out? For the rest of the season, apparently. For the remainder of the season. Quite nuts. Who else is playing this evening? We've got... Oh, we're going to get Bournemouth Crystal Palace team news as well. Could be interesting. Like, some people have, like, Kirkes and a few other players. Seven minutes to go. We are almost there. Right, well, I suppose we'll have a nap for 5 minutes. As you can probably tell, I'm running out of steam, guys. We've been streaming. I swear, we've been streaming for almost 3 hours. That's nuts. The last time we streamed for this long would have been launch day. I remember that one. That took me out. Took it out of me. Adam Lewis says, what are your thoughts on Wrexham FC? I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of what they're doing there. And the way they're doing it as well. Long may it continue. And I love Rob McElhenney. Ryan Reynolds, don't get me wrong, is amazing. But I'm a huge Always Sunny in Philadelphia fan. So to see like Welcome to Wrexham with Rob McElhenney in it and stuff is brilliant. Enjoying it. Samba says then Hall could be alright, Lascelles replacement. Yeah, it could be. How much is Hall? Do we know? The FPL app is going to be down, isn't it? Do we know how much he is? Actually, I can check on this. Lewis Hall is 4.2. Wow. Henry says, have you seen that Newcastle bench? Yeah, I have. It's tragic, isn't it? It's really not too good. Muric in goal again. Let's just wait for the full news. But yeah, that Newcastle team, man, is looking weaker and weaker every game week. So bad, man. The bench, the back line. Man. Philly says, yes, a fellow Sunny fan. We're out here. I feel like it's not super popular in the UK, though. Or maybe it is among certain circles, but I feel like most people in the UK haven't even heard of that show. Most. Five minutes to go. We get our precious team news. Getting delirious. My voice is stopped working. What else we got in the chat? Omar says, just a reminder, never change your intro anthem. I've been thinking about changing it though, that's the thing. FPL Chai is here. What's up, man? How's the season going? Are you still top 100? Still challenging for the title? I was gonna say I miss being in the top 100, but actually It's so stressful. FPL Chai, you'll be able to tell people all about it. It's so stressful when you're at those ranks. There's so much pressure on you. And the most awful thing about being in the top 100, I say awful thing, I know, first world problems. But I always found the most annoying thing about being at those super high ranks is that it doesn't matter if you make perfect decisions every single game week. You are not just competing against the best of the best FPL managers. You are also competing against the luckiest of the lucky FPL managers. So any amount of perfect planning, perfect transfers, everything like that is, you know, it only takes you so far, because you always have to, just to stay where you are, you have to constantly have the best luck as well. Tough. FPL Chai says 92nd looks like a rough one this week though. Damn, man. Well, ride through it, my friend. Ride through it. We'll see what happens next. Someone says your thoughts about DD Fofana attacking return. I guess it could happen. Henry says you're also competing against a lot of people who have used chip. That's not as true as you think it would be. Although, like, in the first 10 to 20 game weeks, yes, you are competing against, like, those who have just spunked all their chips. But when you get to maybe, like, game week 25, it's mostly just amazing FPL managers who are also who have seen incredible luck at the same time, rather than just whoever's used the chips by the time we get to that point. But certainly in the first 10 game weeks, yeah, you're mostly just competing with people who have used their chips already. Which, yeah, it's you feel a little bit out of control. It's a fun ride, don't get me wrong, but you don't have control. Gusto spotted in indoor training. By the way, I don't know if anyone cares or knows. But he's been spotted in indoor training, but that's about it. Right. Lazy says, I just made a stupid panic wildcard. Before or after the deadline? Before or after? CFC Ethan says, can you substitute out players who have blanked for players that haven't played yet? No. Only players who haven't played at all. Who didn't play. Well, who are... It's not even true. You can transfer any player out until their fixture kicks off, basically. You're also competing with voices inside your own head? I guess so, yeah. Z says, Dan, can we win the Premier League this year? Or what does CHL mean? What does CHL mean? Do I not know this modern lingo? Is it our year? Come on, you Gunners. Is it our year? I think it could be. I think it could be our year. Any early captain shouts for next week? Son Salah Haaland. Same captain shouts as every game week. All right, yeah. Team news should be coming in now. Any second now. Champions League. Is that what CHL means? I always call it UCL, like UEFA Champions League. What does CHL stand for then? Is this what's the H? What's the H for? Or is it like CH as in Champions League? Maybe. I made the team, then wanted to change it, and it was too late. Well, how bad could it go, lazy parkour? How bad could it go? Yeah, I do prefer, if you're going to do a wildcard team, you'd want it really at least a few hours. The CH is for champions, the L is for league. That's so weird though. That's not how abbreviations work. Adam says, Dan, I think you're ready for a nap. I'm not far off it, my friend. I live in France. Oh, maybe it's just the different abbreviations in different countries, which is fair enough. Right, since the Premier League don't seem to want to retweet the team news, we're just going to go directly. And here we have it. That's like Nori left wing. That's like Nori playing left wing. Holy moly. Because that's a back four of Semedo, Dotti, Kilman, Totti, Bueno. A midfield of Gomez and Lamina. And a front three of Sarabia, Aitnori, Chiwome. Oh my word. This deserves a tweet. Aitnori playing at left wing. And then we'll find a meme that says, we will be there no matter what. Into the meme folder. Cool. Right. In other news, Cunha is unfortunately not starting. I say it quietly, but yes, Cunha not starting on the bench. I mean, at least he's coming back into the team. You'll imagine that next game week is probably his first start. He could get something from the bench as well. Oh, the Premier League have still not retweeted. Wake up, admin. Wake up, admin. Let's go Bournemouth next. Aitnori hat-trick, says Sampa. Aitnori brace. Let's come on. Let's take an Aitnori brace. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Right. Neto, Cook, Kelly, Solanke. Oh, I hate that they don't do it in the right order. Right. The important players are playing. Zabani's playing. Solanke's playing. Semenyo is not starting. Kirkes is not starting either. That's pretty much it. So no Semenyo, no Kirkes out of kind of the players that a lot of people own. Okay, interesting. Right, who do we need next? It's Crystal Palace and Burnley, I suppose. All right, for Crystal Palace, Munoz starts, Anderson starts, Mitchell starts, Eze starts, Mateta starts. Is Elise back on the bench yet? No, he is not. Henderson's obviously going to be starting every week now because Johnston's out. No Elise on the bench still. Okay, cool. And let's just go Burnley quickly. And then we can end our 3-hour stream. Nuts. Muric, O'Shea, Taylor, Berg, Foster, Vitinho, Fofana, Cullen, Steve? I don't know who that is. Brun Larson and Odebear. Okay. Yeah, Wolves are keeping a clean sheet, surely. Dan Aitnori played left wing last week, didn't he? Last game week, he was playing left wing back or left midfielder. But he didn't have a man in behind him. Now he does have a man in behind him. So he's going to have even more license to attack, which could be crazy. Could be really, really crazy. Wait for West Ham versus Spurs lineup. No, I don't want to stay on stream anymore. Why do I have to stay? I've done enough. I've put in my shift. I was up pretty early today because I had to make a whole video. I had to make my whole team selection video up from scratch. So I got up really early, which I hate doing. First world problems. And then I went for lunch, which is quite nice, with Mrs. FPL Mate. And then we've been streaming for 3 hours. 3 hours. It's too much, man. It's too much, man. Okay. Right, we are going to leave it there. Dan, at least make it to 3 hours, or technically we are like 3 minutes off 3 hours. But what's the point? We're not going to get team news in the next 3 minutes, so like we may as well leave it there. Surely. I think we're good. I think we're good. Right, yeah, guys, we are going to leave it. But we'll do all the reactions and stuff. We'll do it on Twitter. We'll do it on Twitter. If you want, I'll leave the outro running for 3 minutes, and then technically the stream would have lasted for exactly 3 hours. Scott says, and one, you've said the Spurs West Ham team news, you might as well do well. Oh yeah, Scott, it's a good point. Once we've done the Spurs versus West Ham team, we may as well just do a watch along and watch the first game. And then by the time the first game finishes, we'll still have like an hour left of Spurs West Ham. So we may as well do a watch along for that one as well. And by that point, it'd be time to start talking about Game Week 32. So we may as well, rather than making Game Week 32 videos, we may as well start doing some Game Week 32 content after that. Unbelievable. End your stream on 3 hours exactly. I don't know exactly how long we've been going for. It says here on screen that I've been streaming for 2 hours and 55 minutes. I'm afraid we're going to have to trigger you. I've been here for so long. I'm done, guys. I don't want to stream anymore. I've run out of steam. I'm not used to this life. I can't do it. You guys get to pop in and out of the stream, or join late, or just watch the first part, or go away when deadline hits, and I'm just stuck here still. Team news from one game, team news from another game. Oh wait, Dan, there's more team news coming. Why don't you wait for that one as well? Oh no! Oh, sorry guys, I'm receiving a phone call. Oh, hang on, this might be important. Let me just take this quick. Hello? Oh, okay, you need me now? You literally need me right now? Oh, so I have to stop streaming, I suppose. Yeah, of course. All right, no problem. Yeah, if I have to go, then I have to go, I guess. Yep, sorry, very important. Sorry, that was a very important phone call. They said I very much urgently have to leave immediately, importantly, because of the important situation that's happening right now that I need to attend to immediately. So I'm afraid I am going to have to go now, guys. Thank you very much for watching this stream. I do appreciate you guys. I was kind of, we'll joke a little bit. We do enjoy streaming. We do. But there's only so much you can talk about, I feel sometimes. If you're just like sitting there doing nothing but talking about FPL, and the deadline's already passed. We're just waiting around at this point, aren't we? So yeah, we are going to leave that. But yeah, guys, good luck this game week. Hopefully you enjoy it. Really, it's going to be really interesting for this midweek game week. Always love these midweek game weeks. Always throw a couple of surprises in there as well during these kind of game weeks, which is always a bit fun. But regardless, let's see what happens. And yeah, enjoy, guys. Enjoy it. It's the most important thing. Plenty of football on TV the next couple of evenings. I can't wait. Hopefully you can't either. And yeah, I suppose I will see you over on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. I'll catch you guys over there for live reaction and commentary. But until then, thank you so much for watching once again. And I'll see you later, mates. Bye-bye. I can see you guys in the chat, by the way. I'm not coming back. I'm not. I'm just sorting my office out and getting ready to leave this room and go for a nice lay down. Not coming back, sorry. Funny though. See you later, guys. Take care. I'll make that exactly 3 hours. Boom. Let's go.